7 cities built
by JT.
Leading sports television into the 21st century.
Maybe the toughest of the three deficits they have faced in the last 3 years.
Oh, I don't think there's any question about it. Their record during the regular season proves it. They're a terrific defensive club, second only maybe to Chicago, who has 3 players on the all-defensive team. They can rotate, they scramble, and the triple team on Olajuwon is causing tremendous problems.
You just said a key man right now, Hakeem Olajuwon, and he has been a mere mortal in this series. His numbers are down dramatically, and look alarmingly at the free throws. He has gone on the line just once in the 2 games thus far. He has been totally handcuffed by a great defense, and the Rockets really don't have much of a chance of coming back with those numbers by Hakeem.
No, Hakeem has got to step up. He's got to get some open shots in. Rudy Tomjanovich indicated today he's going to go to 4 pick and rolls, but he's got to make something happen, get to the basket, and get on the offensive board and get fouled and get to the line, because without him, they would have never won the NBA championship. They can't do it with just outside shooting.
And another problem the Rockets have, frankly, is Gary Payton, who really has carried the Sonics on his back. Sensational point guard, defensive player of the year. There is Gary Payton. Question, Chuck, do the Rockets have anyone to match up with Payton in this series?
In a simple answer, no. They do not have anyone that can handle Gary Payton, but they're going to have to try to control him best they can. He does it on the fast break, penetrates, pick and roll. He's beautiful, gets all the way to the basket, and when you post him up, look out, he beats from the baseline.
Well, no team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit in NBA playoff history, and the Rockets would face that if they would lose this game at home. Coming up, the Sonics and the Rockets, Game 3 from the Summit. Johnson, Percy Hawkins, and Gary Payton will line up for the Sonics. Robert Horry, Chucky Brown, Hakeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, and the point guard Kenny Smith for the Houston Rockets. And right now, let's check in with Dick Versace.
Guys, an interesting situation for Rudy Tomjanovich. He has to make some serious adjustments when George Karl brings off Frank Frykowski or Sam Perkins. These 2 guys were 5 for 7 from the three-point line in Game 2. Olajuwon does not like to go to the perimeter to guard these guys. Rudy T has to make a matchup change. Normally, it's Chucky Brown that gets out on the perimeter. It will be interesting to watch this matchup as it unfolds. Back to you guys.
All right, Dick, you've given us another thing to watch here, as, of course, Hakeem, who has been totally surrounded like a picket fence in the first 2 games of this series, has not been the Hakeem that people have seen the last 2 years. But let's see how he responds here. Gary Payton coming off 2 outstanding games. The officials working tonight's 3rd game, Dick Bavetta, Steve Javi, and Ed F. Rush. And we're set to go. 3-point reign of terror in Game 2 in Seattle, in one of the most exciting and entertaining NBA playoff games that we can remember.
Yes, and not the easiest to do, because when it comes down, makes 13 straight 3-pointers, not a lot to talk about. Gee, what a great shot.
Just admire the shots going through. Johnson and Olajuwon will jump center, and it's controlled by the Rockets. Kenny Smith, the point guard. He had some good playmaking moments in the first half. In Game 2, they immediately go to Olajuwon. He doubles. Smith fires and hits a 3-point shot. Gets the Rockets off on the right foot.
Well, there was your double team, and they have an emphasis defensively on Olajuwon. They're going to surround him with 3 people. Other people are wide open. They get the shots. They've got to deliver from the outside.
Gary Payton is guarded by Clyde Drexler, who stays with him on the perimeter. Off the screen, Percy Hawkins, and it's 3-2 in favor of Houston.
A set play coming out. It looked like a fake double screen, and then, of course, Hersey comes off and nails the shot. They like to get him off early.
Kenny Smith penetrating and finds Olajuwon, and Hakeem scores and is fouled. And already, this is a different Rocket team than we've seen in the first 2 games.
Kenny Smith, so aggressive offensively. First of all, he nails the 3. Watch it. He says, I'm going to the basket so I can set up my 3-point shot. Dishes off. Olajuwon gets fouled, makes the basket.
The foul is on Detlef Schrempf. Hakeem Olajuwon, who was fined $5,000 for an errant elbow that hit Detlef Schrempf in Game 1. The Sonics sent a tape to Rod Thorne in the league office, and the resulting fine, although the officials had spotted it earlier, that obviously is not going to sit too well with Hakeem Olajuwon. A kickball and a new 24-second clock for Seattle.
Home court is such an advantage. The comfort zone, the crowd, all the things that go with it.
All the Sonics did, in essence, was hold serve by winning the first 2 games of the series. Deadlift Shrimp misses from the perimeter. Tip into the hands of Shawn Kemp. And finally, Hakeem gets the rebound. 6-2 the Rockets. Less than 2 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Kenny Smith finds Drexler. Quick pass to Chucky Brown, and a great block inside by Irvin Johnson.
And he was wide open. That's exactly what happened in the previous 2 games on the same shot by Chucky. If he holds the ball, pump fakes, he goes to the line. He goes up, thinks he's open, no go.
Shawn Kemp misses, tips it again. Batted away by Chucky Brown out of bounds, and it's last touched by Houston. So Shawn Kemp in the middle, making his presence felt, but has missed his first 3 shots from the field.
Surprisingly how much he's able to control the ball, though, around the offensive board with Hakeem standing there.
And here's Kemp again, tipped away by Ori, and on the turnover, Clyde Drexler. Into the hands of Robert Ori. They go immediately low to Olajuwon, and the ball is thrown away, and we are going to have a backcourt violation. So the turnover will give the ball over to the Sonics. Rudy Tomjanovich trying to make adjustments, and it's very tough to do it against quickness in this league.
Yeah, it really is. Along with the fact that, you know, they've got 4 guys at double figures. The Seattle Sonics have 6. They have more places to go, and they don't like turnovers like that without getting a good shot. They were in a position to get a good shot on that possession.
Trent, who has had a fine series, misses another one. One-hander. Here's Drexler with Payton defending. Clyde going strong to the hoop, and Clyde Drexler, who is the leading scorer in Game 2 with 19 points for the Rockets, gives them an 8-2 lead. Kenny Smith pushing on the baseline, and the foul on Hersey Hawkins. That's the first on Kenny Smith.
How many years have we been watching this particular play by Clyde Drexler? Clyde the Glide, gliding in for his 2.
11.5 years with the Portland Trail Blazers, and then helping the Rockets win another title. Bad pass by Payton, and Kenny Smith for the Rockets. Drexler for 3. And a timeout called by George Karl. Quick start by the Rockets. They lead 11-2.
Willie Smith, hold it right there. We had 1, we had 2, and a half a guy here. These 2 guys cheating over. Watch carefully. Swing the ball back. Penetration. Look, hold it right there. You can't play them both on the weak side. They're solving some of the defensive problems.
Kenny Smith has been involved in all 4 Houston baskets. He's hit a 3-pointer and assisted on 3 others. Coming in averaging 7 points a game in the playoffs. Kenny Smith in his 9th year from the University of North Carolina. Seattle ice cold 1 for 6. The Rockets hot 4 of 5, including 2 from downtown. And a 9-point Rocket lead. A little more than 3 minutes gone by first quarter. Dick Stockton, Chuck Daly, and Dick Versace. As the Sonics with a 2-0 lead over the Rockets. Trent posting up against Robert Ori with a left-handed hook. Tipped away. And finally, Irvin Johnson. How many chances have the Sonics had to tip in easy baskets inside? A few.
At least 6 or 7 easy tips that they normally make. They're not making them tonight.
Ori working his way in, and an offensive foul called against Robert Ori as Deadlift Trent took a charge, and he had good position on that play.
Take a look at this play. You're going to see he's out of control. To his right, you'll see Hakeem is wide open. Chucky Brown is standing in the lane. You can't see Hakeem. He was wide open to the right, out of control.
Gary Payton reverse layup ends a 1-for-8 drought by the Sonics, who now trail 11-4. And looking at that last replay, it looked like Shrimp had moved a step into Robert Ori.
Yeah, it was a questionable call, but that happened. It's all judgment. We just saw a patent play by Payton, that give-and-go play that he's so famous for and so difficult to handle.
3 men on Olajuwon, makes the spin move to the baseline. Here's Kenny Smith, and he hits another from downtown. Kenny Smith with 6 points. And the Rockets are 3 for 3 from downtown, and just as quickly, Shawn Kemp with a basket. And that makes the score 14-6, the Rockets, here in the first quarter. Again, Olajuwon out to Smith. Ori open. Good recovery by Payton, but that was a mismatch for Robert Ori as he banks it in. And it's 16-6, Houston by 10. Again, they go low to Kemp. And Irvin Johnson, not known for his outside shooting.
And the Sonics are trying to get Kemp in an early post-up, pushing the ball hard, and he is available.
Olajuwon going inside, finds Chucky Brown for the layup. And the Rockets are finding the open man a lot better tonight than they did in the first two games.
Well, the Sonics are going to have to get this game under control. They're in danger right here. They're going to try to match field goals. They've got to get some stops.
Biggest lead of this first quarter, 12 points. Gary Payton has hit the jumper, so that's 2 straight field goals by Gary Payton.
When you have a leader and a player as good as Gary Payton, he's going to take over the game when he knows his club is in trouble.
And a timeout called by the Rockets. Off to a great shooting start. 7 for 8 from the field and a 10-point lead.
We're out of here. No, please keep your hands on the card. We'll come back for that later. That one needs batteries. You're going to get Daddy in trouble. Excuse me? No, that one definitely has too many parts. We got to go.
Ooh. Check out the 96 rodeos at the Great Isuzu clearance event going on.
Ever feel like talking to the animals? You know, discuss with a duck, spout off to a sheep, dialogue with a deer, listen to a llama, gab with a goat, argue with an emu, jabber with a jaguar, tattle to a tiger, lecture to a lion, talk to a turkey, deliberate with a donkey, converse with a cat, lingo with a lynx, or articulate with an eagle. Then come to the petting zoo at the SPCA, J. Clyde Morris Boulevard, Newport News. Oh, and while you're there, maybe you'll want to discourse with a dog or conference with a cat. Because you never know when you'll find that special animal that will talk just to you.
Get pumped, get jazzed, get revved to win TNN and Cable Rep Advertising's Motorsports Sweepstakes. You could win a trip for 2 to the Phoenix 500 NASCAR Winston Cup race in Phoenix, Arizona. Prize includes round-trip airfare, 3 days, 2 nights hotel accommodations, tickets to the race, a special pit tour, plus 5 second prize winners each receive TNN Motorsports packs. Get revved up and enter today.
Register to win TNN's Rev to Win sweepstakes at Subs & Such, Patrick Henry Mall, and Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, 2nd Street, Williamsburg.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Hakeem Olajuwon, the object of the smothering the double teams, and of course the question of whether the Seattle Sonics are playing a zone defense. Here's what the 2 coaches had to say about that.
Houston has an option against us. Play more cutters, play more motion, play more side-to-side movement, then we can't play our zone. But if you're going to play to Hakeem and stand 3 guys on the weak side, yeah, we're going to zone you.
Well, I agree. And there are certain legal situations, that we try to expose with our spacing. I do have to admit that it's not the easiest thing in the world to call when there's so much movement going on all the time. And they're probably the best in the league and have been for several years in disguisement.
Rockets with the ball. The 2 coaches' opinions on the zone. Very quick recovery by the Sonics, who now have gone to their bench. Sam Perkins and Nate McMillan, who have been brilliant off the bench, are in the game now. Olajuwon, with a turnaround in the lane, has 5 points.
And that was one of the things that he was not doing in the early 2 games. He wasn't flashing, catching the ball, and shooting. He's much more energetic tonight.
Rockets are 8 of 9 from the field. The Sonics have been struggling. Here's Shawn Kemp. Gets his shot blocked by Olajuwon. Goes up again. No basket. And traveling called against Kemp.
And there's your intimidation factor, even on a Shawn Kemp. Olajuwon, a sensational shot blocker, proved why there. Although he didn't block the shot, intimidation is a factor.
That's the NBA record for career blocks this season. And a bad pass, Ori trying to get it to Chucky Brown, throws it into the crowd.
And Ori with 2 turnaround. And here's flashing to the post, aggressive facing. He does that, he's going to get some good shots. You can't double team him.
20-8, Houston leading with under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. And there's the Sonic strategy to go to Kemp inside, but he is 1 for 6 from the field, and all of those shots have been right at the basket. He has not been able to convert. Kemp has scored only 2. Here's Drexler from outside hit, and the Rockets are 9 of 10 from the field and have opened up a 14-point lead. Nate McMillan, who suffered a couple of injuries and had 6 stitches and 2 different injuries in the rough second game. Kemp, on the recovery, gets his second basket.
And in that case, he just wrestled the ball away from Hakeem and scored the basket.
Elijah Wan, who is practicing his three-point shooting. I don't think he'll have to do that tonight, but again, effective from the perimeter. And the Rockets 10 of 11 to start the game.
Watch carefully. His snap on his shot is so much better. He's really following through with the hand. A much different shot. Shot was lazy in the first 2 games in Seattle.
Traveling is called. And 4 turnovers committed by the Sonics. Houston has missed 1 shot. Seattle only 31%. Drexler misses from the perimeter, and Kemp gets the rebound. 14-point lead for the Rockets, who trail 2-1. Ori with the steal. Fine play by Ori. He gets it to Kenny Smith, feeding Drexler, and the easy basket off the turnover for the Rockets, who stretch their lead, and another timeout called by the Sonics.
Well, the Seattle Sonics came in here with the free game, but with the free game, all that goes with it is you got to be ready to play every night.
A young woman tempts Lazarus to stray from his quest, but this femme fatale knows more than she's saying. Does she hold the key to his identity? Robert Urich is the Lazarus Man. Tomorrow night at 9 on TNT.
No matter who you are, no one's above the law. But here, everyone wants a piece of the action. Seek vengeance with Tom Berenger and George C. Scott, starting with The Avenging Angel at 10. Tomorrow night on TNT Saturday Nitro.
There's something about my hat that makes me feel mellow. When I wear it, I just want to chill. Some teams think I should wear it, even when I play. Get real.
Logo Athletic, authentic NBA licensed product.
Watch this steal by the Houston Rockets. Watch Ori tracking. He made a turnover. He's tracking Payton right there, steps right in, makes the steal, quickly looks up court, gets it to Kenny Smith. Watch Kenny Smith, takes it to the basket, makes the fake if he's going to pass off or shoot, gets Drexler for the layup.
Superb passing by the Rockets, who have 10 assists on 11 baskets. Smith has 5 of those assists. Elijah Wan has 3. But Kenny Smith may be the key, along with Hakeem, in the early going.
Absolutely. He's become so much more aggressive. I don't think he wants to be embarrassed. I think he was embarrassed by Gary Payton in the first 2 games. And all of players, when you get to this level, have great pride.
Nate McMillan will inbound for the Sonics. McMillan, Perkins from the bench with Payton, Deadlift Shrimp, and Shawn Kemp. 26-10 with 4:20 remaining in the first quarter. Perkins going low to Shrimp against Ori. And Deadlift Shrimp, who's had a terrific series and led the Sonics with 21 in Game 2, had 10 rebounds as well. Brings Seattle to within 14 again. The double on Elijah Wan. Drexler leaves it for Chucky Brown. 9 on the clock. And another turnover. Let's check in with Dick Lasafe.
Well, Chuck Daly, you and I at lunchtime were discussing when they make the entry pass, when the Rockets make the entry pass, how about running a cutter through? That's exactly what Rudy T is talking about. Maybe you can expand on that. Back to you, Chuck and Dick.
Shrimp misses and Kemp knocks it away, picked up by Nate McMillan. Deadlift Shrimp goes around Hakeem and gets his second straight basket and has 4 points. You guys writing on the tablecloth when you go to lunch and writing down plays? How exciting is that?
Hey, that's what we do. You know, it's interesting to do the coaching side of it when you're watching a series like this.
Sorry I missed that lunch, guys.
dictate again.
Drexler, a three. He's got it. Drexler with 12 points, and the starting backcourt of Clyde the Glide and Kenny Smith have all 4 from downtown for the Rockets, who lead by 15 points and a personal foul, the first against Hakeem Olajuwon.
Detlef Schrempf driving, gets the easy basket, one-on-one, no help, into the lane. Got to be more help from the weak side.
Shawn Kemp on the free throw line. Kemp has made 10 of 11 free throws in this series. Was a 74% shooter from the line in the regular season.
And I touched on it earlier. Kemp is really beating everyone down court. Using his speed, getting down. He's getting a very deep post-up. Over the course of the game, it's going to take its toll because he's getting the defense player on his back right under the basket.
Kemp already with 5 offensive rebounds, Chuck, and it's a 13-point Rocket lead with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. This is Game 3, best of 7, Western semifinals. Robert Horry loses the ball, tipped away, and another turnover by Horry. That's his third, and Payton leaves it out. Sam Perkins, who has been superb from three-point territory, misses this. Kenny Smith fires one up too much in a hurry, and for the first time tonight, Kenny a little bit out of control on that shot.
Well, he's pushing the ball, and you're right, he can set up. They've had a couple of turnovers, and the Warriors hurt him with 3 turnovers, and this is a club, Seattle, that's going to hang around. They're not going to go away just because the Rockets got off to a great start.
23-point baskets, an NBA record, 13 in a row, so the Sonics obviously can hit from downtown in a big flurry, trailing by 10 as we wind down to 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Trying to split the defense is Drexler, and he draws the foul. Vincent Askew will check into the ballgame for the Sonics, another one of their hard-nosed defensive reserves.
Also could score, but on that play, Drexler making a wise move, getting to the basket, getting to, trying to get into the penalty so they can get to the line.
Shawn Kemp to the bench. He scored 6 points, mentioned 5 offensive boards. Drexler stopped by McMillan, turn around and hit. McMillan did a good job, but Clyde is in his zone in this first quarter and has 14 points.
Well, Clyde, you know, great pride and can do every drive to the basket, hit threes.
Perkins picked up by Brown on the outside, and a foul is called. And it is against Chucky Brown, his first. And here is Mark Bryant coming into the game, and in the losing cause in Game 2, the Rockets got a lot of mileage with Olajuwon and Bryant in the lineup at the same time, but Hakeem is going to the bench, having scored 7 points, but playing a lot more spirited than he did in the first 2 games.
You're right, and watching him, though, I'm watching his lift. It isn't quite what it has been in the past. In other words, on rebounds, he's not getting up. The young legs of Kemp in particular are out-rebounding. He's got the jumping ability, but he's going to get his minute 37. He's going to get part of the timeout and come back in the second quarter.
Mario Elie also checking in, and that has been one of the keys in this series. The Sonics have gotten a lot more mileage from their players off the bench than the Rockets have.
No question, and we talked about it. 6 in double figures is amazing, where the Rockets only have 4. But tonight, the Rockets are on fire early, but this Seattle club will hang around. Very dangerous club.
And Kenny Smith hits another from downtown, his third. So he has 3 baskets, all from three-point range at 9 points. Houston 5 of 7 from three-point territory. Immediately low post to Detlef Schrempf, and Schrempf with a nifty left-handed hook turnaround. Now has 9 points to lead Seattle scoring.
Well, there's another deep post-up and an early post-up. George Karl and his crew evidently have noticed that they're not getting back well, and they're getting that deep post-up and getting easy baskets.
Drexler missed from the corner, and here come the Sonics again. And Vincent Askew tips in his own miss. And now it's a 9-point lead for the Rockets. They were up by 16 at 26-10 with under a minute to go in the first.
Well, the Rockets came out with a lot of emotion, and you have to, when you're on the road and you're a busy team, you have to play through emotion. And right now, Seattle is doing that.
Robert Horry over the top So lately, it looks as if the Rockets are content to try three-point shots. They've hit a few tonight, but maybe going to that well a little too often.
Yes, and they're doing it early in the clock on occasion. If you feel it, obviously you've got to do it. They've lived that way for 2 or 3 years. But right now, they've got a good lead. They need to get good shots.
Gary Payton hits the jumper. So Payton now with 7 points in the game. And that was good for 3. And it's a 6-point lead. So the Sonics giving the Rockets a scare in the waning moments of this first quarter. And all intents and purposes playing for the last shot. 9 on the shot clock. Differential of a little less than 3 seconds for Houston. Kenny Smith beats Payton off the dribble, and a fine play and a foul. Kenny Smith takes Gary Payton out of his shoes and beat him on the crossover dribble, gets the basket and draws the foul.
Watch this play getting the basket. He makes some tough shot against Perkins. Incredible shot. Watch carefully from this angle. Perkins says, you're not getting it off. He got it off, up and in.
Sam Perkins committed the foul, and Kenny Smith with 12 points and 6 assists. And the final seconds of this first quarter, Gary Payton fires it up. Bryant the rebound. And the Rockets weather a late storm by the Sonics. Clyde Drexler with 14 points, 2 from downtown. And after 1 quarter of play, the Rockets 37, the Sonics 28.
Can what makes a car look good also make it safer? You'll find the answer in Dodge Stratus. Because along with dual airbags, anti-lock brakes, and ultra-high-strength steel door beams, even the car's shape helps us add side impact protection. It's nice to know that all that is in here, because all this is out there. Dodge Stratus, it's full of answers. Now during the Best Buy celebration, get $1,000 cash savings, 1.9 financing, or a low lease rate.
Griffey's home run strut could be a problem. It's interpreted as arrogance. They don't want an arrogant president. If it's interpreted as joy, as enthusiasm, it helps, but at another level, it also reminds people of his youth. You don't know. It's all in how it's spun. Griffey's people have to spin that home run trot is, here is somebody who has gotten the job done and feels good that he's doing it for the team.
At AutoZone, most of our customers are folks who like to work on their cars themselves. But the ones who come in most often are those who work on cars for a living. Guys like Ed Graven. Now, Ed's garage is in Ogden, Utah, where most of the time you'll find him pulling an engine or sliding under a car. And just about every day, he drives past a half dozen other parts stores on his way to AutoZone. Because Ed knows that when it comes to getting the right part for the right price, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
He runs the 114.4. He long jumps 7.2.5. And he high jumps. Well, sort of. But wow, you should see his Powerade cap. It won him the chance to train at the U.S. Olympic Training Center. And the right cap could get you here, too. Odds of scoring are 1 in 4 with discounts on athletic gear from Champ Sports. Discounts on subscriptions to Sports Illustrated and free Powerade. Hey, that could be you.
To the Summit in Houston, Game 3 of the Western Conference semifinal. The Rockets trailing 2-0, but leading with a high-scoring first quarter, 37-28. And when you shoot 75% from the field, you can expect a high-scoring quarter. They have 5 baskets from downtown, 41% for Seattle. And as Kenny Smith said, we've been in every kind of a hole there is in the last several years and trying to climb out of another one in this series. Sam Cassell into the game for the Houston Rockets. They're going to need some offensive firepower from him in this series. He has been hampered thus far. Mario Ellie in the game. We'll check the rest of the lineup with Cassell, Kenny Smith, Robert Horry, and Mark Bryant. The foul was against Horry, his second personal, and Hakeem quickly checks back in, replacing Horry.
Yeah, Detlef Schrempf was trying to make a feed and a cut, and Horry wanted to stop him from getting there. Too much elbow, couldn't stop him, stayed in his way, picked up his second foul.
Horry has been a little bit below par with his performance so far in this series. Rockets have counted on him in that power forward position. And a pushing foul as Askew working his way toward the hoop. And the foul is on Sam Cassell.
Well, they feel they have this mismatch. Askew over Cassell. They'll probably keep trying to work it. Here they go at it again.
He's stronger than Cassell and can post him up as he's doing right now. Leads it out for Sam Perkins, who hits. Sam Perkins, now 6 of 9 from three-point territory in this series, brings the Sonics to within 6.
Let's see where they go offensively. They've got to go to Olajuwon, but there's almost a steal.
Out to Mario Ellie. They get it back. Cassell is smothered by Nate McMillan. Inside to Hakeem with the baby hook. Olajuwon now with 9.
Well, Olajuwon that time went away, came back quickly to the ball. You have got to pay attention to him. You can't leave him alone.
He's out now to meet Perkins. So he is going out to meet Sam Perkins with three-point threat. And Gary Payton working his way in against Mario Ellie with a turnaround left-hander off the glass. And now Payton has 9. It's a 6-point Rocket lead.
Yeah, you touched on that matchup, Olajuwon on Perkins. Olajuwon does not want to go to that line. Dick talked about it in the opening.
And a steal by Nate McMillan. And a whistle and a Steve Javy said an inadvertent whistle. Here is
Sam Cassell, and he finds a wide-open Olajuwon. Jump hook. And you can't leave him like that.
Inadvertent whistle, so the Sonics will get the ball back. It was a good defensive play by Nate McMillan. So it's Payton, Askew, McMillan, along with Schrempf and Perkins. Not a big team out there for the Sonics. Here's Askew, and he hits a 3. So Vincent Askew, who was a 34% shooter from downtown, now brings the Sonics to within 3.
Seattle has weathered the storm. There they went to that patented trap to try to keep the ball in the backcourt. And now Kenny Smith still in the game, making another aggressive play.
Good penetration by Kenny Smith and a timely basket because the Sonics have been on a roll. Both teams are shooting well once again from the three-point territory. Here is Askew. Under 10 minutes to go in the first half. And traveling called against Deadlift Schrempf. And a timeout called, an official's timeout, with the Rockets leading the Sonics by a score of 41-36.
Make no mistake, this is here.
When does a car feel good? When things are easy to reach. So we built a cabin simulator that varies the location of almost everything the driver uses to drive the car. We moved the parts in and out and up and down. It wasn't until everyone was comfortable that we could relax. Dodge Stratus. It's full of answers. Now during the Best Buy celebration, get $1,000 cash savings, 1.9 financing, or a low lease rate.
Hey, Gilligan man, take my advice. Don't try so hard to escape paradise. Oh, Gilligan, Island man. Gilligan, Island man. No phone, no light, no motor car. Don't be a fool. Stay right the way you are. Oh, Gilligan, Skipper, Island man. Gilligan, Island man. Gilligan, Island man. Gilligan, I-N-D.
Destined to lead his people.
Your treaties are for us to keep and you to break.
He was the warrior.
We are surrounded by white men.
He wasn't an Indian, he could be a Caesar.
Could not be broken.
Don't cry for us. We are free.
Their fate and all their hopes rode with him. Watch the original motion picture from the best movie studio on television. Tecumseh, The Last Warrior. Sunday at 5 p.m. Only on TNT.
Hope you join us Sunday at 8 Eastern for our pregame show, and we'll check out all the NBA action from Sunday. And then at 8:30 Eastern, it's Game 4 of the Spurs-Jazz series. So join us Sunday at 8 Eastern, and the action will continue on TNT. Deadlift Schrempf upset still, Chuck, with that last traveling call against him, and he's on the bench right now.
Yes, he got called for that, and George was upset. Detlef was upset, and we had a look at it. They were correct. He did not walk. but it happens.
Shawn Kemp has come back in the game, and here is that call at...
Catches, plants, fakes with the right, puts it on the floor. Left was still in place.
So Kemp replaces him. Shawn Kemp with 6. Kenny Smith has a shot blocked by Askew. Boy, the Sonics come off the bench, not only with some defensive stoppers, but guys that can hit threes as well. In fact, 36 points from their bench, all teams from downtown in game number 2. That's a big factor with the Sonics' 2-0 lead. Askew finds Hersey Hawkins. In for the turnaround, Shawn Kemp. Good ball movement that time by Seattle.
And all of a sudden, this building has gotten very, very quiet.
Cassell with Mario Ellie and Kenny Smith, Mark Bryant, and Hakeem Olajuwon. So the Rockets going with both Bryant and Olajuwon. Nearly a steal by Kemp. Knocks it out of bounds with 7 on the shot clock.
Here's exceptional ball movement right here. Go to the post up, get the double team, swing it cross court, dump it inside. Little soft jumper.
There's Cassell with a looper, misses, tipped away. Olajuwon has it with a new block, the double. Mario Ellie has it sliced away, and a foul called by Dick Bavetta. And the foul is against Vincent Askew. That's his first personal.
Well, we talked about it earlier. The Sonics have now played through the emotional outburst and the great play of the Houston Rockets. Now we have a basketball game for the remainder of this quarter and another half.
Mario Ellie, 85% free throw shooter in the regular season, now 5 of 6 in the playoffs. He missed 38 games with a broken wrist this year, and his shooting has been way down in this series compared to his 50% shooting in the regular season. But it's a 5-point Rocket lead with 8:45 to go in the first half. Nathan Miller gets it in to Kemp, and it's last cut by the Rockets.
13 seconds on your shot clock.
McMillan picked up by Smith. Olajuwon has guarded Kemp. Good up and under, and a good fake by Hersey Hawkins, who has 4 points. Hawkins, relatively quiet in the series, has averaged 10 points, 15.6 during the regular season. And another 3, a line drive, 3-pointer by Kenny Smith, who has 17.4 coming from downtown. Kemp coming right in his foul. So every time the Rockets hit the 3, they go right back down low to Shawn Kemp.
And Shawn Kemp is getting that post-up position very deep. We talked about it earlier. Not only Kemp, sometimes it's Detmer Schrempf, but Kemp mainly, and he's missing some shots he should make, but he's getting to the free throw line.
And that's the key as far as the Sonics are concerned. Mario Ellie with the personal foul, and Kemp now with 9 points in the game. He was suspended because of a fight at the end of the regular season. He did not play in the first game of the opening series against the Sacramento Kings. The Sonics winning in 4. And, of course, the Rockets beat the Lakers in 4.
Obviously, we talked about it earlier, but George Karl has seen that they can't get back with Kemp, and he's taking advantage of it.
46-42, and a pushing foul, no basket, as Mario Ellie drove to the hoop. And it's Vincent Askew with his second personal foul.
And Rudy Tomjanovich here on this particular play wanted continuation. No, it would have been a walk. Good call by the official, Ed Rush.
46-42, the Rockets lead. Seattle has never had the lead in this game. Houston led by 16 in the first quarter. Mario Ellie misses a finger roll, and here comes Askew back. Gary Payton on the bench getting a good rest. He'll be fresh when the Sonics fall on him next. Perkins now low post against Mark Bryant with the soft turnaround, and it drops through. So Sam Perkins already with 7 off the bench.
There's so many people that can post up for the Sonics. It really creates a problem. It can be almost anyone. That's the difference in the attacks.
And Kenny Smith is playing like it's game 2. Now with 5 from downtown and 20 points in the game. Inside is Shawn Kemp. And Kemp with a spectacular shot. Kind of a straight arm play with Olajuwon trying to avoid the foul, and again it's a 3-point game. And a timeout called by Houston.
what's going to have to happen, you'll see Kemp getting down floor. He's doing it time and time again. We didn't see him get there, but he's got the position. This time, he gets banged right here, almost gets the foul.
Just take a look around. Darkness rules the earth.
In a dangerous world,
Governments crumble. Chaos reigns.
in a treacherous time,
There is opportunity in chaos.
evil is a fact.
Drax is on a quest for a supernatural power.
And courage
Stop them. You're the only one who can.
is a phantom.
Who was that guy?
Somebody I already killed.
There are some who say he is only a myth. Soon they will discover the Phantom is real. Rated PG. At theaters everywhere. Friday, June 7th.
The people of Care know that there are thousands of families around the world who face starvation, who need clean water to avoid fatal disease, and who need the tools to learn to help themselves. But as the NBA's Dikembe Mutombo has seen in his homeland of Africa, a little care can make a world of difference.
Show that you care.
In the last 2 years, when the Rockets were down 2-0 in the semifinals, Kenny Smith came out with those shoes, and Ray Melchiori has those special shoes out tonight for Kenny Smith.
No, I don't believe in magic at all. I believe in being blessed, but it's more a confidence factor, just a reminder of what we've done and what we can do. And our trainer keeps them, and he always brings them out at certain times, and he brought them out this time. So I think it's time to wear them again.
I talked to, here, there's the shoe with the 2 W's on it, but I'll tell you, I talked to him before the game, I said, they need a little shine.
Ray Melchiori, who was a trainer for the Celtics before the Rockets, he has a few championship rings. Clyde Drexler back into the game for the Rockets. Kenny Smith has been an Iron Man tonight. Misses the shot, and Mark Bryan misses the stuff, and at the other end is Askew, and he can't control it. The Sonics had a great opportunity for an easy basket, but they turn it over back to Houston.
One of the things that's happening is Kenny Smith going to the basket. You've got to have someone balancing up and recovering and taking care of the defensive transition.
Sonics have yet to miss from the field here in the second quarter. 7 for 7, trailing by 3. Drexler with a turnaround and hit with 1 second on the shot clock. Clyde Drexler has 16, and between the two of them, Kenny Smith and Clyde Drexler have 36 of the Rockets' 51 points. Turnover, Mario Ellie all the way in. And a little out of control, and he missed the layup.
He had a great opportunity because he was ahead of the field, but you're right, his right foot caught on the defensive player, and he got out of control and didn't know whether to use glass or put it over the front of the rim.
Halfway through this second quarter, the Rockets lead by 5. Askew with a turnaround, draws the foul, no basket. And Mario Ellie now with his second personal foul, 13th foul, and Gary Payton, who scored 9 points and has had a good rest, will come in to replace Nate McMillan in the Sonic lineup.
You know, I have a sense that the Sonics are saying, we're a younger club, we have better legs, we're going to push the ball every time we can. This club has been to the well a lot of times, played deep into June, several years in a row. Do they still have the legs? Let's find out.
And, of course, then you add on to the fact that the Sonics, George Karl has the confidence to go deep into his bench because they've all produced.
Exactly. A simple answer. Exactly.
Brevity is always preferred. Askew, 1 out of 2. 4-point lead for the Rockets. Trailing 2-0 in the best of 7. Game 4 will be Sunday here at the Summit. That game will be on NBC. Series would resume to 5 if it does. Seattle Tuesday night on TNT. Elijah Wan finding the open man. They go in low to Bryant. 1 second on the shot clock, and Ellie fires it up. So that was a poor sequence for the Rockets offensively as Bryant lost track of the clock.
Well, he was the last guy, and he's not the guy who should have it 15 to 17 feet from the basket. Shot should have been taken before that, but credit the defense of Seattle.
Well, that is a line that you can use throughout the series, the pressure defense. When Payton's in there, that's why they designed it, because of Gary Payton's quickness and tenacity. So it's 4-point game. Sonics trying to narrow it. Here's Kemp. Perkins hits the three, and it's a 1-point game. At one time, the Sonics were down by 16, and they cut the lead to 51 to 50, with 5 minutes remaining in the first half.
Chucky Brown getting ready to come in. I think Rudy said that he needs some live bodies, particularly on the offensive board.
And a scoop attempt on the baseline by Drexler doesn't go, and the Sonics can take their first lead of the game here. Perkins against Bryant in the low post. Here's Kemp. And he'll be called for the offensive foul. That is his first personal foul of the game.
Throughout the series with Sacramento, and in this series, we have seen him do that at least once every game, where he comes trailing a play and barrels in. Whether it was a foul or not, he got called for it.
Rain Man.
Might have been underneath and still moving, but nevertheless, once the official makes the call, it's history.
Kemp and Payton each had 3 at halftime of game 2, and they never got into further foul trouble. Here's Olajuwon with a turnaround. Olajuwon with 11 points, and that matches his series average. He also has 5 assists. So he certainly has emerged a lot more so far in this game. 4:15 to go, first half. And a three-point attempt by Askew doesn't go. So the Rockets, who have their lead saved to 1, leading by 3, and have the ball. Inside Olajuwon with the spin move and a foul, and he'll go to the line.
The Rockets are so much better when Hakeem Olajuwon becomes aggressive offense rather than settling for the pass, trying to find somebody out of the double team.
So Olajuwon going to the line is 1 for 1 at the line, and that's what he was in this series coming in. The foul is against Kemp, his second. Let's go to Dick Versace.
Well, guys, Rudy T seems pretty happy with what's happening on the offensive end. He's imploring his troops to try to get it done, get back, get matched up, and do it defensively on the other end. While George Karl is concerned about Kenny Smith, he's made a believer out of him. They're going to start double-teaming Kenny Smith. Back to you guys.
Well, they're going to double-team him as he brings it over half court. I don't think they'll double-team him because they've got a double-team inside. Hakeem is the guy that's a priority, and they'll continue to do that. But they probably will run from the top another guy at Kenny Smith, which makes other people available for wide-open shots.
Frank Burkowski is into the game for the first time for Seattle, and Robert Horry back in for the Rockets. It's a 5-point game, and Olajuwon with 13 points. Clearly his most effective game of the series, but we have a way to go. Under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Houston scored 37 in the first quarter. Here's Kemp, low post against Hakeem. Finds Burkowski, does not give him a good pass. Schlem hits the jump shot. Detlef Schlem, 11-year veteran, many playoff series with Dallas and Indiana. And the Sonics are now 9 for 10 this quarter from the field. And now they get another turnover. Payton is ahead of the field. Askew goes in and the foul. A defensive turnover will get it back. And
look as though he got hit in the eye as he tried to make that play, getting to the basket.
20-second timeout.
Chucky Brown trying to swat it. Comes down on Horry, tried to swat it. Came across his head, got him in the eye.
And Vincent Askew hit in the eye, and as a result, the Sonics will call a 20-second timeout. 3:23 remaining. These Houston Rockets trying to reverse what has been an unpleasant trend for them. Not only have they lost 11 straight games to the Sonics, 6 this season, but have lost the last 4 series they have played against the team. In fact, it was Seattle, the last team to knock Houston out of the playoffs back in '93 in a 7-game series. The Sonics bench doing what they've done throughout the series, outscoring the Rockets.
Here you wonder if the Rockets think about the 11 games in a row. They get off to a big lead tonight. Does their confidence start to ebb when a club makes a run like this, getting back to a position of almost tying the game just before halftime?
Askew, who was hit and misses the first free throw. You can see he has that left eye shut, squinting. Vincent 1 for 3 at the free throw line. Makes the second free throw to bring the Sonics to within 2. Houston led by 9 after 1 quarter of play, and the Rockets lead is 2. Drexler and Smith, good move to the hoop by Drexler, and he draws the foul. Fly with a lot more of a hop in his step tonight. Went to the hoop, and Askew has picked up his 3rd personal foul. And he'll leave the game, replaced by Hersey Hawkins.
Clyde Drexler is such an aggressive player. And, you know, it's so tough to play because he makes shots outside, but above all, he can get to the basket, and he gets to that foul line.
Drexler has 16 points. Smith with 20 leads the Rockets, and Olajuwon has 13 for the Sonics. Kemp has 12, Schrempf 11, and Perkins 10. So good balance on both teams tonight. Frank Furtado, the Seattle trainer, tending to Vincent Askew. Drexler connects on 1 out of 2, and it's 56-53. Houston getting close to the 3-minute mark.
When they have had to set up the Sonics, the Rockets have done a much better job. It's in transition where they're getting hurt. Not only on that quick post-up, there's another post-up, but the 3-point shot.
Kemp with the turnaround, and Kemp now with 14 points, 8 coming here in the second quarter.
It gets very difficult to defend when he gets that deep back to the basket. I don't know what chance your defensive guy has.
Chucky Brown with the jump shot, and it's 58-55. Brown with his second basket. Robert Horry, by the way, has only 2 points. Not much production from the starting forwards for the Rockets. 9 on the shot clock. Payton picked up by Horry on the switch. And turnaround. Misses. Burkowski tries to put it up, and a loose ball foul is called against Frank Burkowski. And we'll take a timeout with 2:24 remaining in the first half. It's nip and tuck in game 3.
The NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by the new Dodge. From products like Viper and the new Caravan to Dodge Ram, we're thinking ahead. And by Original Coors. There's nothing like the beer from up here.
If we violate the laws of physics, will we be punished? Well, we did. We gave Stratus a new type of tire that offers the tread life and enhanced fuel economy of a tire engineered for efficiency, yet sticks to the road like a tire engineered for performance. A clear violation of physical laws. Thus far, there have been no legal repercussions. Dodge Stratus, it's full of answers. Now, during the Best Buy celebration, get $1,000 cash savings, 1.9 financing, or a low lease rate.
You're waiting for your blind date. You're scanning the room. You've got minty fresh breath, and you're oozing charm. Then it hits you.
Larry?
Don't let bitter beer make a bad first impression. Drink Keystone, America's least bitter beer, so there's never a bad taste, never a bitter face.
Take this. Always brought me luck.
Stop making faces. Drink Keystone.
To get the most out of this Indy car, Patrick Racing put Scott Pruitt behind the wheel. They built a team that could get it in and out of the pits in the blink of an eye. And they chose a battery they can depend on to get it started. The Duralast battery from AutoZone. The same Duralast you can depend on to start your car. So don't settle for anything less. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
That's Carroll Dawson, the Rockets' longtime assistant in his 16th year with the team. He's been on the staff for all 4 Houston teams that have reached the finals. Well, 6 years ago, Carroll Dawson lost his sight in his left eye and considered retiring. However, head coach at the time, Don Chaney, and Rudy T., who were then an assistant coach, encouraged Dawson to stay on with the Rockets. Dawson and Rudy T. developed a bond, and that has been almost brother-like in its closeness over the years.
Yeah, Carroll was actually offered the job, said, I don't think I'm healthy enough to take it. I'll turn it over to Rudy. And by the way, he could really hit a golf ball.
He used to play golf with Bill Fitz when he coached the Rockets. He has been here through all of those years. Back when the Rockets used to wear red and gold.
Times have changed.
Yes, they have. Chucky Brown. 1 out of 2. Trent gets the rebound. The lead is 4 for the Rockets with 2:20 to go. Seattle shooting 54% in the game. Houston 65%. So great shooting by both sides. Shrimp with 7 on the clock, defended by Brown. Payton coming around, and Kemp with 2 on the clock off the side of the board. And here is Kenny Smith. Gives up the dribble. The tip by Kemp out of bounds, and his last touch by the Rocket, but Dick Lavetta may overrule here. And he calls a foul. He overruled not with an out-of-bounds call, but a personal foul on Frank Burkowski, his second personal.
I think if we have the replay, he will prove to be right. I think Hakeem went to take the ball up and was fouled. Let's take a look, see if we're right. There's a wild pass. Hakeem catches, goes up. Maybe all ball. Who knows? But he had a second guy, Burkowski, behind him, maybe made contact. At least Dick Lavetta said he's going to the foul line.
Hakeem Olajuwon, perfect so far tonight. 5 for 5 from the field. 4 for 4 from the line, and 14 points. And again, you have to wonder whether the Sonics might have lit a spark when they sent the videotape to the league office for what resulted in a $5,000 fine.
Yeah, they harped on it. Sometimes you get what you want, but you rile up the other club. There's that two-man game that they run so effectively. The Rockets make a huge mistake. Devin Shrimp wide open.
Shrimp has 13 points. Minute and a half remaining in the first half. Ori trying to get it to Olajuwon. Kemp got a hand on it, and it was last deflected off of Olajuwon. Good hustle by Shawn Kemp. Careless play by Ori. Hawkins misses a 3. And Chucky Brown gets the rebound, his 4th. 4-point Rocket lead. The Sonics have yet to take the lead. Drexler with a hard foul, and they're going to call it 2 shots against Deadlift Shrimp.
This is some tough call for the officials because Drexler took off hard. Let's see what we can see. Here comes Drexler right into your living room. He went right into both players and tries to raise up. Tough call.
Flagrant foul called against Deadlift Shrimp. And maybe it was Burkowski who had the harder foul in that play, but Drexler on the line shooting 2. 2 shots, and the Rockets will retain possession.
Normally a play like that, when the offensive player is the aggressor, he should be rewarded with free throws. I'm not sure that it should be a flagrant in that particular situation.
Drexler's 2 free throws gives him 19 first half points. That's what Drexler had to lead the Rockets, 19 in game 2. So the lead is 6, and Robert Horry will inbound for the Rockets. So let's see if this turns out to be a 4-point play for Houston in the final minute plus of this half. Here's Hakeem. And a illegal defense called against the Sonics. That's the first tonight. I want to remind you, coming up on the Reebok halftime report, Ernie Johnson and Cheryl Miller are joined by special guest Mitch Richmond of the Sacramento Kings to look back at tonight's Atlanta-Orlando game. Look ahead to tomorrow's Knicks-Bulls game coming up on the Reebok halftime report. 16 on the shot clock, and a foul is called away from the ball against Burkowski. So 3 on Burkowski. Askew already on the bench with 3 personal fouls for Seattle.
In that particular case, Steve Javy saying, Frank, you're too aggressive with Mr. Olajuwon. We're going to assess a foul.
What do you think of the style of George Karl? He loves those turtlenecks. He is the Doug Collins of the West, his coaches.
Yeah, it looks that way. He obviously dislikes those ties. They're very tight around your neck in a lot of circumstances.
Now, they got past the first round, Chuck, so we can't tighten the noose on that. Is Sam Perkins replaces Burkowski, who goes out with 3. Hakeem missed first free throw of the night. He had 1 for 1 in the first 2 games, but tonight, from the free throw line, he is 6 for 7 and a 7-point Rocket lead. Under a minute to go, 47 plus 16 on the shot clock for the Sonics. Here's Kemp, double team down low. Payton the 3. And Gary Payton hits his second from downtown. 12 points for the Sonic guard, and it's a 4-point game.
They've become very aggressive at trapping Smith at half court. They get the ball out of his hands so he can't get it back quite so frequently, although he does here.
Here is Kenny Smith with the jump shot. Good fake, and they beat the double team effectively that time.
Kenny Smith moving from strong to weak, coming back to the ball. He's having some night from the floor.
And this is the highest scoring first half in the playoffs this year. Standing ovation for the Rockets, who are on defense now in the final seconds. Gary Payton with a great lay-in goes around Olajuwon. Ball kicked away, and Drexler with a errant shot. Kenny Smith has been solid from the beginning of the game on. 8 of 11 from the field, 5 from downtown, and a game-leading 22 per point. Houston has shot 64 from the field, and a 66-62 lead at halftime.
3.
I can't believe I'm losing my hair back here.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, right.
Look, if you want to regrow some hair, check this out.
Rogaine? Don't you need a prescription?
Not anymore.
How's it work? Rogaine goes to the root of your hair, and for some people, gets it to grow.
What have you got to lose?
Nothing, I guess, except more hair.
That's been easy to use.
And it's starting to work.
See, there's room for growth in every relationship.
Rogaine, medically proven to regrow hair.
I think it's all about people, making life a little bit more enjoyable for people. Too many businesses take themselves too seriously, and people want to enjoy themselves. We've tried to shake out the conventional way of doing things. I think dealing with customers is completely down to trust. If you have an American Express card, it's something you can trust. They were the innovators. They brought you this piece of plastic that has transformed so many people's lives.
This is for my man Sam. Sam I am, the Rocket Man. How could you stop it, man? 2 rings on my hand when I drop it in. Mr. Clutch, double deluxe, butter touch. 6 for 3 and mad tough. Nimble and crafty, just ask me, you can't pass me. The Mr. Buzzer Beater, the 24-second clock cheater. My jumper's deeper than the creature in your late night feature. You just got shook when I stood with no looks. Put the points in the book, leaving you stranded. It's the Reebok playoff bandit. This is my planet, baby.
The Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok. Are you prepared to say, this is my planet?
Fairly wild first half, I'd say. Houston trying to win a game in this series. They're down 2-0 to Seattle, leading 66-62 at the Summit in Houston. Ernie Johnson and Cheryl Miller and the Sacramento Kings Dream Teamer, Mr. Clutch, Mitch Richmond in Atlanta with the Reebok Halftime Report. In game 1 of our doubleheader tonight, the Orlando Magic took a 2-0 lead over the Atlanta Hawks in a game that was even more lopsided than the first one. A 36-19 first quarter got the Magic started even the mud. 12 points and 8 boards in the first quarter. Everybody getting in on the act. Check out Mookie. Atlanta actually led in this game 10-9 as he drilled the three-pointer. And then it got ugly. Bad pass. Where's that going? Right to Nick Anderson. There's Horace Grant. That's a deuce. That's a 5-point lead. Penny Hardaway eventually left this game with some tightness in the hamstring, not before he canned that one to make it 36-19 after 1. Shaw, Shaq, redemption, 40-21. Another steal as Nick Anderson plays the passing lane. It's getting out of control. 57-28, and for good measure, Shaq to wrap things up. He had a 28-point night. 110-87 at that point. It winds up 120-94. Orlando takes a 2-games-to-none lead over the Hawks as they head to Atlanta for games 3 and 4. What's the story on Penny? How's the hammy? Here's Mr. Hardaway.
Well, I've had it since the first game of the Detroit series, and I got kneed right in the back of the tendon, going up for a rebound, and it's been sore ever since. And from favoring that tonight, I pulled my right hamstring, so I strained it a little bit. So, you know, it's like both legs are hurt now, and I think I'll be all right, though.
If anything, that adds a little intrigue to this thing. How is he going to be feeling in time for Game 3 on Sunday? But is there any reason, after what we've seen here, to think that the change of venue to Atlanta is going to change the Hawks' fortunes here, guys?
I have a lot of concerns. The only problem that I have with the Atlanta Hawks is that they haven't shown the ability to stop Orlando scoring in the paint. Game 1, they had 70 points. Game 2, 52. Plus, if you look at Atlanta's series with the Indiana Pacers, split it 1-1, had the chance to come home and wrap it up, and lost both games at home. So not much of a home court advantage.
Well, you're right. I think Lenny Wilkins has to be concerned because this is not the same basketball team that was in the first round against Indiana. I mean, the intensity level is not the same. They're not playing with the aggressiveness that they played against Rich Smith. So you definitely have to be concerned about their team.
Yeah.
And Christian Laettner, after a couple of wars here with Shaquille O'Neal, probably thinks, well, I'd love to see 7'4" Rick Smith back in my face. Yeah, that was kind of fun. When we come back, the Bulls are postseason perfect. They're 5-0. Will that perfect mark withstand a weekend in New York? We'll do some gardening next.
Rebel, express yourself. Take your creativity to a whole new level.
Express yourself.
With EOS lenses and the Rebel X from Canon.
Now you can launch your business into cyberspace. With a new toll-free 888 number from AT&T. It gives you all the benefits of an 800 number and a free listing on the internet, where millions of customers can find your number, check out your homepage, and order your products.
Your order's flying out the door.
One small step for you, one giant leap for your business. Toll-free 888 from AT&T for the life of your business.
Got no shirt, got no shoes, got no coat, so got me the blues. Yeah, I got no shades.
Hey! That's because you got no Pepsi.
Now the more Pepsi you drink, the more stuff you get from the new Pepsi catalog.
Got no mansion, got no yacht.
This might be the end of the blues as we know it.
Drink a lot of Pepsi, get a lot of stuff.
At AutoZone, most of our customers are folks who like to work on their cars themselves. But the ones who come in most often are those who work on cars for a living. Guys like Ed Graven. Now, Ed's garage is in Ogden, Utah, where most of the time you'll find him pulling an engine or sliding under a car. And just about every day, he drives past a half dozen other parts stores on his way to AutoZone. Because Ed knows that when it comes to getting the right part for the right price, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
128 points in the first half between Houston and Seattle. It's the Rockets by 4. Reebok halftime report continuing. In New York tomorrow, the Bulls will take the court with a 2-0 lead on the Knicks, but without Tony Kukoc. He hurt his lower back in practice today. He's going to sit out the weekend. Meantime, the Knicks hope a return to the Garden will get them right back in this series.
We got a lot of work to do, and a lot of things cut out. We just got to come with our hard hats and see everything on the court. First game Saturday, and that's an important game before you get to Sunday.
The regular season doesn't mean anything. This is all new season, so, you know, the 72, 73, whatever Chicago games won, that doesn't mean a thing right now.
We keep it close like we have been doing the first 2 games out through the fourth quarter, and we can play smarter in the fourth quarter and give ourselves a chance to win. We'll leave that on.
Patrick Ewing saying it really doesn't matter what you did in the regular season. Is this Bulls team playing as well as they did in the regular season, or is this not the same bunch right now?
Well, I don't think they're executing as they did in the regular season. I think New York, you got to give that credit to New York. New York is playing them physical, they're playing them tough, And they have opportunities to win the basketball game in the fourth quarter if they just take care of the basketball.
That has been a problem for the Knicks, just getting it done in the fourth, because they've been right there.
Not only taking care of the ball, but being able to knock the shots down. Right. John Starks has been struggling from the perimeter, but the reason why is because Patrick Ewing hasn't established that inside game, which has forced the Bulls. They could play him straight up, so they don't have to worry about double teaming. We all know that John Starks is the greatest as far as creating his own shots off the dribble.
Chicago with a 2-0 lead. They play back-to-back games this weekend at the Garden in New York. Back to wrap up the Reebok in just a minute. The Houston Rockets getting 22 points out of Kenny Smith in the first half. He had 11 combined in the first 2 games.
What are the steps to winning in the NBA Finals? Step 1, play hard. 2, drink Gatorade. 3, match the inside of your cap with the winning team and the number of games it takes them to win the finals. And win a bag full of cool stuff. There will be over 1 million winning caps.
Sweat it out. Don't just watch the finals. Play them.
Suggestion. Don't wear all the cool stuff at the same time.
There is only one pizza that makes my picky taste buds go ooh, ooh, ooh. It's Domino's Pizza. Just the way Domino's does it. That crust with that pepperoni, those zesty herbs. I like the deep dish crust, the hand-tossed crust, any Domino's crust. Just crust, crust, crust. You've got to try your favorite toppings and tons of cheese on that Domino's crust. It's your turn. For Hot and Wild, call Domino's now. And in a few minutes, you'll know what I mean.
I'm ready to paint the whole house.
Through Saturday, Sears has every gallon of paint on sale. All the best brands. Easy Living, Weather Beater, and Dutch Boy.
One coat. Done.
For the best finish, the best place to start is Sears and Sears Hardware Store.
I'm ready to paint the whole neighborhood.
Still going. Long-lasting Energizer batteries keep going, and
STP Son of a Gun Protectant makes vinyl truly shine. Leather more lustrous. And rubber more brilliant and beautiful. It works so well, in fact, some people even use it on cars. Son of a Gun Protectant, and also Son of a Gun Citrus Cleaner by STP.
For your NBA playoff viewing pleasure, check NBC out tomorrow. Got a doubleheader starting at 1 o'clock. And you got the Chicago Bulls and the New York Knicks, followed by the San Antonio Spurs and the Utah Jazz tomorrow on the Peacock. The Reebok halftime report continues with the boom cam. Back at Mitch Richmond and Cheryl Miller and me, I'm EJ. Let's look ahead to the third quarter here. And, Seattle has withstood the building right now and all the emotion the Rockets have. What do we see in the third quarter?
Well, I see in the third quarter, I think Seattle is doing a great job of keep pressuring the team, and they're within 4 points right now. But what you have with Houston is that they had someone step up. They had Kenny Smith step up. They have Drexler step up. Those guys got to keep taking those shots. And when Cassell comes in the fourth quarter, you know, he has to take those shots too.
Well, I was really impressed with the way that the Dream was playing, especially reacting quicker to the double teams, is either finding players on who are cutting to the basket or making his move.
Kenny Smith, 22 points. Hakeem Olajuwon has 16 points. It is a 4-point Houston lead. They do not want to fall down 3-0. Nobody wins a series when they're down 3-zip. 66-62 heading to the final 24 minutes.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok. Are you prepared to say, this is my planet?
History teaches primordial perspiration shouldn't mess with one's style. Consider this powerful discovery. Right Guard Clear Power Clear Gel. An astoundingly clear gel. Thus, it goes on clear without any flaky white stuff, protecting one powerfully. For when it comes to protection, one shouldn't mess around. Right Guard Clear Gel. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Do you make promises in the spring? When everything is fresh and new? Promises to make things better?
Do you wake up on Saturday morning feeling like you can do anything?
Do earthworms make you happy?
Do projects give you meaning?
Do Do you like making promises?
There's a place that will help you keep those promises. True Value.
Health is just around the corner.
Consider the tortilla. By itself, not much. But look what happens when Applebee's gets hold of it. Suddenly that shy little tortilla becomes the sizzling, steaming star of the dining room. So come to Applebee's today and see what a hard-working tortilla can make of itself.
America's favorite neighbor, Applebee's.
After a tough day at the office or a rough day on the field, take a time out at Ref Sports Club and Grill. Ref Sports Club and Grill on Jefferson Avenue in Francisco Village Shopping Center near Main Street in Newport News is a great place for the gals, the guys, singles, or the entire family. At Ref Sports Club and Grill, you'll get delicious food and great company plus live sports on big screen TVs. So take a time out. Ref Sports Club and Grill, Jefferson Avenue, Francisco Village Shopping Center near Main Street, Newport News.
In the highest scoring first half in the playoffs this year, the Houston Rockets, needing a win, trailing 2-0 to the Sonics, are up 66-62 in Game 3. And Chuck, you'd have to say, looking at the first half, that the Sonics took a solid punch from the Rockets, and they're still standing at this point.
Yeah, they're a very good basketball team, and I think a lot has to do with their bench, which I think we ought to watch. Their bench has delivered 19 points to 4 for Houston. Let's see how that plays out during the course of the second half.
Both teams have been shooting extremely well, and once again shooting well from the three-point line. Sonics 6 of 10, Rockets 7 of 13. So the Rockets shooting 64% and leading by 4, and their starting backcourt has done a great job with Kenny Smith and Clyde Drexler with 41 points between them. Right now, let's go over to Dick Versace.
George, I guess it's the playoffs. Surprise, surprise, 41 points out of their backcourt.
I thought they were going to bench Kenny Smith this series. You know, it's been great, but he had a great role on us. They made a strong side adjustment that's given us a lot of problems. Drexler's penetrating, playing like the old Drexler that we know he can be, but we're right there. And so I think basically what we talked about is we're kind of happy that, you know, we took a pretty big shot, now 4 down. And, you know, so I think it's going to be a hell of a second half.
You've been real strong in transition, but any special plans for Kenny Smith?
Yeah, we want to get to him, you know, but we're not going to start double-teaming the team. We're going to stay with the double teams on the team and hopefully find Kenny a little better and make someone else score.
All right, Georgie, good luck.
All right, Dick, thank you very much. So Kenny Smith, who played every minute of the first half, 22 points, and that matched his regular season scoring high. A terrific first half for Kenny Smith. And that's what the Rockets need, but we'll see what the Sonics do to try to solve him. Here's Houston scoring. Clyde Drexler with 19. That matches his Game 2 output. And Hakeem Olajuwon with 16 points. Clearly his best game. On the Seattle side of things, they have 4 players in double figures, with Payton and Kemp leading the parade with 14.
And George Karl touched on this, but the Houston Rockets shoot 63.9%. to 54.5%, and they're only down 4 points. They've got to feel very, very good.
I would think so. And trying to steal a game on the road and make it 3-0. Remember, no team has come back from that 3-0 deficit in the history of the NBA playoffs to come back and win. There are the incredible numbers from Game 2, and I would say incredible numbers again tonight from three-point territory.
They're continuing to nail that three-point shot. 6 each of them. One has 6, one has 7. That's a lot of three-pointers, and we'll see more because of the double teaming inside.
Sonics with Payton, Shrimp, Kemp, Irvin Johnson, and Hersey Hawkins. Save 5 and started the game for Seattle. Hawkins off the screen. Tipped out by Olajuwon, and here is Drexler. Payton is back defensively. Clyde Drexler with a looping shot. Couldn't get it to go, and here's Shrimp coming back to the other side. And the Rockets with the same 5 that started the game for them. Bad pass by Payton. Here's Drexler. He's got Chucky Brown, and Brown misses the layup. And a foul out of frustration committed inside. So the Rockets with 2 opportunities go by the boards, and Brown picks up his second.
Got to be disappointed with those 2 forays because they had golden opportunities to score a basket in both instances and then pick up a foul.
Less than a minute gone by in the third quarter. Yet to see the first points and a foul committed. And that is against Kenny Smith, his second.
It's interesting to see if George Karl will attack Kenny Smith and make him work harder on defense to try to take his legs out from underneath him. Right now, that hasn't been the case. They've got Drexler on Peyton, and actually, Percy Hawkins has not been a big factor.
Irvin Johnson from the perimeter. So still no scoring after a prolific first half. Over a minute gone by, and the score is the same, 66-62. The Rockets over the Sonics. Olajuwon, Smith inside to Chucky Brown, and that is again great ball movement by Houston.
And Chucky Brown has had that shot blocked 3 times in this series. That time hesitated, waited to make sure he could get it up.
8 assists for Kenny Smith. Here's Shrimp off the foot. And not a late block, but here's Kenny Smith with Drexler trailing. Smith puts it up and draws the foul. Percy Hawkins committing the foul. And that'll be his first. Interesting, you say, make Kenny Smith play defense, but Percy Hawkins has been kind of a forgotten man on offense for the Sonics lately.
Yeah, he really has. They opened both halves with a play for Percy Hawkins. He got 1 jump shot in the lane. Beyond that, he hasn't been a factor. And, you have to think about making Smith work. Smith, in that case, is going to the foul line, but he had Drexler trailing for an easy 2 if he drops it behind him.
Detlef Schrempf appealing to the Supreme Court. Ed F. Rush. 2 free throws by Smith. And it's 70-62. Sonics still looking for their first points of the second half with 1 minute and 45 going by. In the third, Gary Payton. Is he ever there when they need the big basket to break a run by the Rockets?
Very, very poor defense on that pick and roll. When he comes that open off a simple screen, they've got to do a better job hedging or keeping him out of the lane.
Smith, great recovery by the Sonics defensively, forcing a turnover. What a classic textbook move by the Sonics defensively, getting the easy basket by Payton, who is 8 for 10 from the field and 18 points.
And Gary Payton that time had Ori coming down his back. He is such a great player to take that up on the other side, make sure he gets the shot off.
Drexler goes low to Olajuwon. Inside, and Chucky Brown with his nice point of the game. It's 72-66. Hakeem has 7 assists. So just look at the assist total. The Rockets are passing the ball a lot better tonight than they did in the first 2 games. Here's Kemp. Defense by Ori from behind. Made that happen for the Rockets. The old legs against the young legs. That's what it's coming down to in this series. Here's Olajuwon with a baseline jumper. Shawn Kemp with a rebound. That is his 8th of the game. Detlef Schrempf picked up quickly by Ori at the 3-point line. Now down low against Ori. Schrempf with a fall away. Hits. Detlef Schrempf. He has been the X factor for the Sonics in this series. He's got 15.
Well, he can do it all. We've just seen that fadeaway jump shot. Here's Kenny Smith being harassed in a double team.
Plenty of time on the shot clock for Houston. Drexler, a little bit out of control. Olajuwon with the fake. He hits Drexler over the top, committing his second. Let's watch that great defensive sequence a few moments ago by the Sonics in the easy hoop.
Here's Kenny Smith working to get into the lane, loses control, tries to kick it back. Percy Hawkins to Payton. Watch Payton. He knows where Ori is. Make sure that he can't get a shot at him. Uses the rim, crosses under. A terrific play.
What made it all happen was the great recovery by the Sonics on the double team out to the perimeter. Drexler bottles up Schrempf and picks up his 3rd foul. 2 quick fouls against Clyde Drexler.
Detlef Schrempf fakes the ball overhead, tries to move. Drexler just hammers him with his left arm and picks up the foul.
Mario Elie back in, and Robert Ori goes to the bench. Right now, Kenny Smith, Mario Elie, and Clyde Drexler in there. Percy Hawkins misses a 3, and the rebound by Olajuwon. 6 rebounds by Hakeem. 4-point lead by the Rockets. That was their margin at halftime. And Dick Bavetta will call a foul on Percy Hawkins. That's his second.
Hersey looking a little bewildered, but Drexler caught the ball, made a quick move, and forced him to put two hands up to stop him from getting to the basket.
Drexler with a touch pass back to Smith. Good passing, but Brown misses the field goal. Well, the Sonics are withstanding all of the artillery by the Houston Rockets, trailing by 4 very much in this game, looking to open up a commanding 3-0 lead in the series. Trent with a turnaround now has hit his last 7 from the field, and the Rockets want a timeout as their lead has been cut to 2.
Here's Detlef Schrempf, got Drexler on him. He's going to anchor him to the ground, that little fadeaway, and he's got beautiful touch on that particular shot.
The NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by Dutch Boy Paints. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
Like a rock, I was strong as I could be. Like a rock, nothing ever got to me.
After the kind of day you put in, all you want to do is fall into a nice, comfortable, easy chair in a quiet place.
Like a rock.
Of course, sooner or later, you'll have to go home.
There's a place where UV rays beat down so mercilessly they're nearly twice as intense as the sun's. No, it's not some blazing spot on the equator. It's the Dutch Boy Paint Testing Facility, where we test our exterior house paints to make sure they resist fading, blistering, and peeling. It's one of over 75 tests we do to make sure that when you buy Dutch Boy, you're not just getting a paint that looks beautiful. You're getting a paint that lasts. We guarantee it. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
Please kiss me, croaked the frog. And then the princess kissed the frog, and he suddenly turned into Charles Barkley.
Daddy!
Okay. You caught me. The frog turned into a handsome prince. I love reading with my kids. We all enjoy it. Reading builds a solid foundation for their future. Okay, who wants to read the next one?
Daddy, Charles must have been a really big frog.
Rockets lead the Sonics by 2. And tomorrow, our friends over at NBC have a doubleheader as we take a look at the Eastern brackets with the Bulls and the Magic up 2-0. A pair of Game 3s at 1 Eastern. It's the Bulls and Knicks. And then at 3:30 Eastern, it'll be the Spurs and the Jazz. And it all starts at 12:30 Eastern with a pregame show on NBC as the playoffs continue in the NBA. And spectacular as they've been. The shooting, Rockets 25% this quarter. Seattle is at 50. So they continue to shoot extremely well in this Game 3. Olajuwon inside finds Chucky Brown, who now is in double figures with 11.
Back-to-back, they've done that. They get the double team from the baseline, and Olajuwon is recognizing Chucky Brown. He's stepping in the lane, getting the easy basket. Ori not in the game. Only 2 points, 1 rebound, and 3 turnovers. He's going to have to show up if the Houston Rockets are going to win the series.
You're right. Ori averaged 12 points a game in the regular season. Here's Percy Hawkins with a spectacular drive, flashing in for his 6th point, and the Sonics trail again by 2. Nearly halfway through this third quarter, the Rockets had a 9-point lead at the quarter, 4 at the half, and the lead is 2, and nearly another turnover. Olajuwon has it knocked away, and Trent has it. Another turnover by the opportunistic Sonic defense, and Hersey Hawkins has tied the game. Our first tie of the game at 74. At one point, Houston had a 16-point lead in the first quarter.
The Sonics very aggressive defensively and great ball handling. That time on the break, but in the previous play, Hersey Hawkins gets a magnificent pass from Gary Payton.
Brown finding Drexler for 3. And Schrempf the rebound. And the Sonics looking for their first lead of the game. Detlef Schrempf, who has 17 points. And he is mugged out at the top of the key by Mario Elie. That's his 3rd personal foul.
Watch this pass. Gary Payton, you can't see it, but he slices inside, cutting Hersey Hawkins, who needed a field goal to get on track a little bit. And Detlef Schrempf to the free throw line.
And the Rockets are in the penalty with 5:46 to go in the third. And Detlef Schrempf can give Seattle its first lead of the game. And somebody threw some debris that landed out on the floor. As it is, the fans have those white balloons. One of them popped and came out on the floor. Thus, Detlef Schrempf decided to wait.
Well, Dick Bavetta put it in his pocket. He's going to take that one home and try to replay it.
Well, Halloween is a few months away, but I'm sure he'll be using that along with the orange and black balloons he has.
After this is over, with the amount of under that basket, you can have your choice.
Sonics have the lead for the first time tonight, 76-74. Detlef Schrempf with another big game, 19. He had 21 in game 2 to lead his team. And now the Rockets are under the gun right here. They've lost a lot of their zip that they had early in the game. You mentioned the emotion factor. Kelly with a pull away, and the basket will count and a foul. Big play by Mario Ellie, and Shawn Kemp picks up his third.
Take a look at what strength can do. Watch Ellie. Gets in the lane, takes the hit with the body. He makes the contact, falls down, still able to get it up. Another look. Same play, falling away to the line.
And that is the first field goal by a Rocket reserve tonight, Mario Ellie, as the Seattle bench has outplayed the Houston bench throughout this series. It's a one-point Houston lead.
That's got to be a concern over a 7-game series if it goes that far.
Payton with a runner in the lane now with 20 points, and he is the Sonics scoring leader. Kenny Smith with 24 leads the Rockets. He has the ball now guarded by Payton. The quick double on Olajuwon. Kemp picking up Drexler over the top. And that time, the Sonics once again with Kemp reacting fast to the perimeter man.
And he took away the baseline, forced Clyde to throw up that long-range jumper, and the legs aren't what they used to be.
Irvin Johnson sits down, Sam Perkins back in, and Clyde has missed his last 6 from the field. Sonics with the ball and a 1-point lead with under 5 minutes remaining in the third. Schrempf goes up and fouled by Drexler, and that'll be 4 on Clyde Drexler.
Let's take a look. Detlef Schrempf working in the lane against Drexler, where he's been pretty much his whole half. Gets slapped across the wrist.
So Detlef Schrempf on the free throw line. 19 points, now 20 for Schrempf. And right now, let's take a look at tonight's Chevy scoreboard. Orlando with a big win over Atlanta to take a 2-0 lead. Shaquille O'Neal, 28 points. Orlando leads 2-0, and coming up after the game is Inside the NBA with Vince Cellini. The special guest is Sacramento's head coach, Gary St. Jean.
Sam Cassell in the game has only played 5 minutes in this game because Kenny Smith has had a terrific game.
Olajuwon in traffic with a turnaround from the baseline. Sonics are up by 1 with 4.5 to go in the third quarter. They had trailed until the last couple of minutes. And there's a great bounce pass kept to Gary Payton. And the 1-2 punch for Seattle connecting again. Payton has 22.
The Sonics showing their tremendous ball handling ability throughout their lineup, which has made a difference in getting back in this game.
Mario Ellie with the second basket for him and the second hoop by a member of the Houston bench. 82-81, 1-point game. Another terrific contest tonight. Schrempf double team. And Gary Payton, front rim on the 3, gets the rebound and a new clock. He's 10 of 13 now from the field.
Very comfortable. Watch this pick and roll. See if he comes off. Make it again. Almost does.
Kemp again. And finally, Hakeem says enough of that, and he grabs the rebound. And the Rockets can get the lead back here. Mario Ellie to Olajuwon. The fake off the mark. And Shawn Kemp with his 10th rebound. Kemp had 10 rebounds in game 2. He's been the top man off the glass throughout the series for the Sonics. Perkins working his way in against Chucky Brown.
Perkins, an effective scorer, outside, loves the three-point line, doesn't particularly like that post-up move, but thought he had an advantage size-wise that time on Brown.
Under 3 minutes to go in the third. Seattle by 1, 82-81. Olajuwon out to Kenny Smith. Smith in and out in his attempt for 3. He hit 5 of them in the first half. Payton spinning his way in. Brent trying to keep it alive. And here is Mario Ellie. Sonics back defensively. And Ellie has the shot knocked away by Shawn Kemp. Last touch by the Sonics.
Here's that last play. Ellie going to the basket. Kemp, a little bit over the arm, knocks it away. 82-81, Seattle.
Check out Saturday Nitro every Saturday night on TNT.
Of all the things trucks can do, there's one thing that's never been done before. Only Chevy trucks have ever won back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year awards.
Hi, I'm Billy Packer for the winning team at Subtle Motors with an offer that's too good to pass up. Just in time for spring, Subtle has taken extra shipments of brand new Cutlass Sierras. The starting price, just $13,995. Look at all this equipment. These Sierras are loaded. Plus, get a great warranty and 24-hour roadside service. Again, the Subtle price, just $13,995. Come in today and drive away for less. Only from Subtle Motors of Newport News.
Last month alone, 7,000 more people in Virginia got on the GTE Super System. Who's next?
Nip and tuck all the way. The Sonics leading 82-81 with 2:29 to go in the third. The Sonics have had a 1-2-3 punch. Payton, Kemp, and Shrimp. Those are their points and the rebounds in this series. And when you get 3 scorers like that are on the verge of averaging 20 points, you've got what you need offensively, and this is what they have done tonight with 2 out of 3 over 20 points, Chuck.
And one of the things that doesn't show on the screen is their ball handling and their decision-making with the ball. That's been the most impressive thing that I've seen tonight.
Nate McMillan has gone into the game. Hersey Hawkins is out, having scored 8. Rockets have shot 35% here in the third quarter after a brilliant 64% shooting effort in the first half, and it cost them a load of the 1-point game. Sam Cassell. And out of bounds, it'll be Sonics ball. Cassell, as you know, bothered by the strained right elbow. And he said, I have to get back to being me and not worry about that elbow. But he has been scoreless in this game and has not been Sam Cassell.
No, he hasn't throughout the series. But tonight, Kenny Smith had such a great start. But Rudy elected to go in a different direction.
Kemp is fouled on the follow-up. So once again, the Sonics on the offensive glass. And the foul is against Mario Ellie, his 4th.
There's Perkins. There's Kemp going back up, and there's the block. Looked like a good block, but unfortunately, for Houston, the officials did not see it that way.
Shawn Kemp on the free throw line has 12 rebounds, 7 of them off the offensive glass. So Kemp has, with the young legs inside, we know what they can do defensively, and Kemp now with 15 points in the game. And from the free throw line, 16 of 17 in the series. Brilliant free throw shooting by Shawn Kemp, who averaged nearly 20 points a game in the regular season. Sonics matched their biggest lead of 3, 84-81, under 2 minutes to go in the third.
Disrupting, double teaming, getting the clock under 14.
Cassell misses the 3, and the offensive rebound by Chucky Brown. Cassell, Brown was open momentarily, and Cassell is fouled trying to penetrate. And Vincent Askew will come back in for the Sonics, and Robert Horry for the Houston Rockets. Horry, as you mentioned, having a subpar game, has scored only 2 points. And Mario Ellie going out with his 4 personal fouls. And Kemp to the bench, having scored 16 for Seattle. A well-deserved rest for Kemp.
Mario Ellie not happy because he did not want to leave the basketball game. He had been playing well. And Robert Horry is going to have to step up for Houston in the remaining 13 minutes.
1:19 to go in the third. 84-81, the Sonics lead. Kenny Smith, who's been an Iron Man in the game, illegal defense against the Sonics. That's the second call, and a technical foul call.
And George Karl unhappy about that call. He thought that he had a possession because it looked as though Smith was falling out of bounds.
Kenny Smith will shoot the technical. And the Rockets trail by 2. One thing is evident no matter who wins this game, Chuck, and that is George Karl's Sonics have more spring in their legs and have a lot more zip than the Houston Rockets.
Well, they're tough to defend. They have, we've mentioned the 3 guys, the 1-2-3 punch, but they don't run classic plays. They take you off the dribble. They do individual things. They know how to play together, and they have great ball handling and decision-making with the ball.
Sam Cassell, working against McMillan, a tough defender, throws up a wild shot into the hands of McMillan. Cassell 0 for 4 from the field. McMillan inside to Askew, who lays it in, and the Sonics lead by their biggest margin, 4 points, 86-82, with 42 seconds now remaining in the third quarter. Perkins, denying, knocks the ball out of bounds. It's Rockets ball with 14 on their shot clock.
And George Karl going to that classic double team, taking the ball out of the ball handler, the point guard's hand, and it disrupts the offense. And now they're down to 14 seconds, got to inbound it and still get a shot.
Horry gets it in to Olajuwon. Cassell nearly lost it and does. 2-on-1 with strength. And it's an 88-82 game. And the Seattle Sonics are invigorated here in the second half. And I think, Chuck, that the Houston Rockets, who have had a great 2-year reign as champions and may have a lot more in reserve, are seeing the toughest foe they have seen in quite a while.
You're exactly right for a lot of reasons, defensively, offensively, and they're not quite the same club. They're not getting the easy baskets. They're struggling to get good shots.
Sonics on an 18-8 run. Olajuwon loses it, and here is Gary Payton, and he puts it through to make it 90-82 in favor of the Sonics, with 4.2 seconds to go in the third. A stunned crowd here at the Summit, and a blocking foul called against Vincent Askew, and that'll be number 4 on Askew.
George Karl very unhappy about this particular call. Here's that steal. He just lost the handle on it. Here's Stremp. Quickly gives it up on the 2-on-1. Knows he'll get it back. And there's no way he could stop him from dunking the ball. But this was a tough play for Seattle because they were trying to get in position with a very short clock and got called for a block, putting the Houston Rockets on the free throw line with only 0.7 on the clock.
Clyde Drexler on the bench with 4 fouls. He has scored 19, but he had 14 of them at the half. Sam Cassell connects on the free throw. 90-83. A stunned crowd here at the Summit has watched the Sonics dominate the Rockets here in the third quarter. And that'll do it. Houston scoring only 18 points in the third quarter. Detlef Schrempf, the game-high scorer, with 23 at least for Seattle. And after 3, it's 90-84 in favor of Seattle.
Statistics show 98% of GeoPrism owners would recommend Prism to a friend. And now, with $1,000 cash back, maybe the other 2% will too. GeoPrism. See your dealer for all of the other great savings going on now. Oh, and bring a friend and get to know GeoPrism.
Things break every day.
They shatter.
They fall.
They spill.
They smash.
They break down every day.
So we thought it might be nice to keep our prices low every day. On things you might need every day. We understand you can't wait for a 3-day weekend for things to go on sale.
Because things don't wait for a 3-day weekend to break.
True Value. Help is just around the corner.
It's time you settled down and got married.
A little proposal to make.
A wife, a family,
Kathy.
maybe a job.
Here, drink something.
Thanks.
Beer, please. Get protection against bitter beer. Drink Keystone, America's least bitter beer. So there's never a bad taste, never a bitter face.
We can still date other people, right?
Stop making faces. Drink Keystone.
Yeah. It's all good on the hardwood, remaining calm. My game is tight and the bomb like Shawn. Simply on the mission when transition is the game. Steady on the game, it's the man who make it rain. Came on the scene, green at 19. Critics intervened, but I still made the dream. Now the whole world is mine to reinvent, where my skills represent like my name was Shawn Kemp. Yeah, you better understand it. This is my planet.
Summit in Houston, where the Sonics lead the Rockets 90-84. And Chuck, I think the Rockets know they're in a fight for their lives right now, and the series on the line. Not the game, the series on the line in this fourth
No question. They can't go 3 down, and they'll have to get very emotional. This crowd has not been as helpful as it could be.
Ori gets it into Olajuwon. Rockets have been here before, but maybe they haven't been here before against this kind of a team. And Olajuwon goes up and a foul has been called. Third quarter shooting, Seattle 52%, Houston only 30%. Perkins his second.
Hakeem working very hard that time, one-on-one. Perkins trying to hold position. Looked as though Hakeem forced the contact, but he drew the foul going to the line for 2 shots.
Olajuwon is 6 for 7 from the line in this game as he makes good on the first. Hakeem now looking for his 20th point in the game. Remember, he had a total of 23 points in the first 2 games. A 20 for Olajuwon, and the Sonics lead by 4.
Well, Ricky Tom Jonathan talked about the heart of a champion. They're going to need it to pull this one out.
Detlef Schrempf guarded by Mark Bryant, spins his way in, and a hook shot. Rebound by Olajuwon. So it's Olajuwon and Bryant, the 2 big guys, with Smith, Ori, and Clyde Drexler in the game with 4 fouls. Drexler with a line drive shot. That's a 2-point basket. But Drexler with 21.
And Drexler playing with 4 fouls. Rudy says, I've got nothing to wait for. Let's let him play. He's delivered before.
90-88. Now the crowd into it. Chuck, you were right. They were not into it earlier, but now they know what is on the line for the Rockets here in the final 12 minutes of regulation.
And you can feel the momentum shift at the present time.
Here's Ori. Misses a 3, but it pops out into the hands of Olajuwon. Drexler hits a 3. And a timeout called by the Sonics as the Rockets come out steaming. Have scored the first 7 points of the fourth quarter.
There's Drexler with that line drive. 2 in a row.
I was looking
said once it happened, love came looking for me. Get out of my way.
Dockers flat front khaki.
STP Son of a Gun Protectant makes vinyl truly shine. Leather more lustrous. And rubber more brilliant and beautiful. It works so well, in fact, some people even use it on cars. Son of a Gun Protectant and new Son of a Gun Tire Glaze by STP.
Here's tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. Sonics with 11 offensive rebounds, most of those by Shawn Kemp. And Shawn Kemp, the forward, Trent with 23, Kemp with 16. The starting forwards for the Rockets have 13, with Ori collecting over 2. Can she see the game from with that balloon around her?
Her father wanted to make sure she got on camera.
Gary Payton. Rockets on a 7-0 run to start the third quarter, and that is stopped by Gary Payton, who has gotten the big hoop every time the Sonics have needed. He has 26. Fourth quarter, that is. There's less than 2 minutes gone by. Here's Drexler going strong to the hoop and is fouled by Gary Payton.
And that was a very peculiar play. They had Bryant out high. It looked like a total isolation. They're going to go to Drexler, try to let him break down the defense, either get to the foul line and or hit the outside shot.
33-year-old Clyde Drexler, who missed 30 games. He had right knee surgery, also a shin injury. He's a veteran. His acquisition was pivotal in the Rockets winning the championship last year. Trying to see if he can make it happen again. 14 in the first quarter, but his shooting has cooled down considerably since. But now, 26 for Drexler on the free throw, and a 1-point Houston lead.
Payton's got a matchup. He can take Drexler off the dribble. He hasn't elected to do it as yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing it.
Kemp blocked by Olajuwon, and a foul is called against Hakeem, I believe, and that'll be his second.
Here's Kemp backing into the lane. Goes up. Hard to see from that angle. Looks like he got a lot of ball. Fourth in the NBA in shot blocking. If you want to go against him, you better be willing to pay the price.
And many have. That miss by Kemp, his first one tonight. He is now 17 of 19 in the series. So he's done his job from the line and has gotten to the stripe. 93 all. There's the trap by Seattle at midcourt. Kenny Smith working against the taller Perkins. 7 on the shot clock. Ori lays it in.
And Ori, one of the first aggressive moves he's made all night, going to the basket rather than settling for the outside shot.
There's Perkins again, working low against Chucky Brown, and his hook shot connects. And the Rockets and the Sonics are tied again as we have a little more than 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Sonics won the first 2 games in Seattle, and the Rockets looking to get back in the series with a win on their home court, with Game 4 coming up on Sunday. Nate McMillan with Peyton Askew, Perkins, and Shawn Kemp. Askew with 4 fouls. Good low post feed. Kemp blocked by Olajuwon. And Hakeem with his best defensive effort in the low post as he blocks Shawn Kemp. Here's Ori for three. No, two. And he gets nothing. Outlet to Peyton. Peyton finds Askew with a no-look pass. And Vincent Askew is fouled and will go to the line to shoot two.
Here's the swing to Ori. Instead of settling, he goes hard to the basket, almost loses, a little out of control, but gets the layup. Watch this block by Hakeem. You talk about defense. There's one. Stays right there. Come from behind by Ori. Gets the second one.
Askew fouled by Kenny Smith, who picked up his third. Connects on the free throw.
And every time Houston seems to get comfortable on the offensive end, the quickness of Seattle in attacking and getting numbers in transition is bothering the Rockets.
Well, Rudy T told us today, he said, look at the film on those three-point shots. He says they were all on transition baskets, loose balls, and fast breaks.
Well, transition is a big part of the Sonics game, and you've got to be ready to defend it.
Sonics by 2. 8:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Ori makes the pass to Bryant. Crashing the board. And it winds up to Smith in the right place at the right time. Out on the perimeter. Looking to tie the game. Olajuwon hemmed in on the baseline. Lost it out of bounds. And it was a good double team by two defensive stalwarts, Nate McMillan and Vincent Askew for Seattle.
That harassing defense, you never know where that double team is coming from, and it's the best double teaming in the league, no question about it. Take a look. Hakeem catches it. Here comes the double team from the top. Gets out of control. He was looking for the baseline pass, but the double wasn't there. No place to go with the basketball.
Mark Bryant with his foul, and the third-team foul. Kemp loses it. And once again, the Rockets with a chance to tie it up. Kenny Smith, baseline. Shots were falling for him in the first half, but not in the second half, as Peyton rushed up a shot, and the rebound by Ori. Rockets have cooled off after a sensational first-half shooting tonight. Turnover story virtually even tonight. And Olajuwon tries to go to the hoop. It's last touched by the Sonics. They're going to bring in Hersey Hawkins back into the game, and Nate McMillan, who has been terrific, not only as a three-point shooter, but the stock and trade defensive stopper.
Defensively, but Hersey Hawkins going to give him a little bit more offense. They're a little afraid they bogged down offensively, and he's a solid defensive player.
Olajuwon for the baseline, rebound by Kemp. 15 rebounds by Shawn Kemp. This Sonic team certainly has grown up, haven't they, since they were knocked out in successive first round the last 2 years. This is a mature club. Askew penetrating, leads it for Kemp, knocked away, and a foul. If it's against Drexler, that'll be 5. And the foul has been called against Clyde Drexler. His 5th foul.
There's the play. Going baseline, Kemp slaps him over the top, inadvertently almost, but it is 5. 97-95.
These days, more and more people are doing things they never imagined before. People who never imagined a minivan could drive like a car are driving the Mercury Villager. People who never imagined how much fun driving could be are driving the Mercury Mystique. And people who never imagined a car could look and feel this solid are driving the all-new Mercury Sable.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury.
For a limited time, get $2.9 financing or $600 cash back on Mercury Sable and Mystique.
Gravity by Foot Locker. Of all the laws of nature, you are my least favorite. It's not your fault you exist, but gravity.
You are no friend of mine.
You do not belong in my house.
My
so
house.
You show up every morning.
I defy you, Gravity. You are not my obstacle.
That grin you see, that's me knowing I will beat you. If only for an instant.
Even if it's just for an instant.
Foot Locker, where it all begins and gravity ends.
There is only one pizza that makes my picky taste buds go ooh, ooh, ooh. It's Domino's Pizza. Just the way Domino's does it. That crust with that pepperoni, those zesty herbs. I like deep dish crust. Domino's crust. Just crust, crust, crust. You've got to try your favorite toppings and tons of cheese on that Domino's crust. It's your turn. For Hot and Wild, call Domino's now. And in a few minutes, you'll know what I mean.
The Lazarus Man, Saturday at noon and 9 on TNT.
Back here at the Summit in Houston, want to remind you to join us Sunday at 8 Eastern for our pregame show, and we'll check out all the NBA action from Sunday's play. And then at 8:30 Eastern, it's Game 4 of the series between the San Antonio Spurs and the Utah Jazz. So join us Sunday at 8 Eastern, as well as Monday at 8 Eastern, Game 4 of the series between the Magic and the Hawks. With that series 2-0 in favor of Orlando, Clyde Drexler will sit with 5 personals and 6:45 remaining. Replaced by Mario Ellie, and on the deflection, it'll be Houston's ball as Hersey Hawkins couldn't keep it in play.
A very tough pass. Perkins, Payton was coming to him. He threw a very hard pass. Hersey Hawkins was almost in a position to save it. Couldn't. George Karl got to be unhappy not getting a shot coming out of a timeout.
Kenny Smith penetrating, knocked away and a foul inside. Kenny Smith with 25 points, 5 coming from downtown, and now Vincent Askew has picked up his 5th personal foul, so 5 on Askew, 5 on Drexler on the bench. Drexler has 26. Smith with 25 can take over the scoring leadership for the Rockets. Now 5 for 5 from the free throw line. Hakeem Olajuwon is having his best game by far with 20 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists, so his next assist will give him a triple-double. 27 for Kenny Smith. We're tied at 97.
Rockets were fortunate that time. Kenny had no place to go. Kenny Smith got through the foul, fortunately for him. Here's your standard pick and roll.
Gary Payton working against Mario Ellie, who's in foul trouble. Payton reaches in, blocked by Hakeem. That is his 3rd block shot of the game. Gives the Rockets a chance to regain the lead as we get close to the 6-minute mark. And a bad pass as Ori could not reach for that pass by Kenny Smith, and the 16th turnover by Houston.
Here's a great block coming off the ball. Terrific block by Hakeem. And on the previous play, Kenny Smith was going to swing the ball to Ori. Ori stepped into the lane, turnover.
Perkins, Kemp, Payton, Hersey, Hawkins, and Kemp in the low post, batted away, but out for the Sonics. And here is Kemp inside, and it's deflected by Kenny Smith, looking for the foul. So here's Smith. Mentioned he didn't want to be embarrassed, and has certainly not been. He has come up big tonight for the Rockets. Can they make it stick and get back in the series with a big win in Game 3? 6 on the shot clock. Olajuwon to Robert Horry, and Mark Ryan at the other side keeps it going. Hakeem has it batted away, and a Sonic foul, their 4th team foul. So both teams now with 4 team fouls in the quarter, and that'll be 4 on Deadlift Trent.
And on the opposite end, Shawn Kemp keeps challenging Olajuwon and keeps getting the shot blocked. He's got to come up with more moves.
And Clyde Drexler is coming back in now with his 5 fouls. Rudy T. figures 5:14 to go. He can't keep Drexler on the bench anymore.
Need his offense. Got some isolations. He's got a mismatch to a degree size-wise over Hawkins, but Hawkins will fight him.
Bryant goes to the bench. Drexler working against Hersey Hawkins. Kenny Smith misses from 3, where he hit 5 in the first half. Here's Gary Payton with Hawkins. 3-on-2 for the Sonics. High off the glass for Hawkins. He now is in double figures with 10. And it's 99-97 in favor of the Sonics.
The old question, first to 100 wins.
And Seattle has 6 in double figures, and that's what they've averaged in the series. Another steal, this time by Shawn Kemp. And now the Rockets want a timeout. Defense, the name of Seattle's game. And the lead is 4, 101-97.
And George Karl really excited because they know they have a great opportunity to, steal one in this particular building. And that becomes very difficult. There's Kemp in your living room.
You don't take orders from anyone but the sea. The harder you work, the more you earn. And the more you earn, the more you keep. And after it's all said and done, you walk away with the two things nobody can take. Good friends and good corn.
Across the James River Bridge, turn right at the second light, and 1 mile down, you'll find Carrollton Antique Reproductions. 15,000 square feet of quality new furniture in antique tradition. Carrollton Antique Reproductions hand selects a tremendous variety of new solid wood furnishings, including solid oak, solid cherry, and solid mahogany. Carrollton Antique Reproductions encourages you to comparison shop. They offer exceptional quality at fantastic prices. Visit John and Neil today at Carrollton Antique Reproductions.
Been injured, there's only one name you need to know. Joe Stallute, attorney. Joe Stallute represents clients in all types of accidents. Joe Stallute has represented personal injury clients for over 20 years. Joe Stallute has successfully recovered compensations for many injured clients. Call the law office of Joe Stallute, 722-2815, located at 34 Wine Street, Hampton. If you have been injured, Joe Stallute is the one to know.
Here's something that's been happening all night for the Sonics, battling for the basketball. Perkins comes up with it, gets it to Payton. Payton looking down court. Hold it right there. Hold it right there. We've got an offensive guy, an offensive guy, an offensive guy, an offensive guy. We have only one defensive guy back. Percy Hawkins to the basket. How about this soft touch? Using glass, pulls up, fades away, doesn't bang into the defensive player. Uses the glass, knows the spot.
Just as Dick Versace caught him at Bradley.
Absolutely.
Foul trouble, Askew with 5, Drexler with 5. But Drexler, of course, the key operative, is in the game with 5 personal fouls. And Hakeem has blood on his hand, a cut on the thumb, we understand. Ray Melchiori will tend to it, and
they've either got to substitute or make a decision about a timeout.
Let's go to Dick right now.
Well, what we got is when Hakeem dove on the floor, he cut his left thumb. It's just a little cut. They're trying to stop the bleeding. That's all it's about. Back to Dick and Chuck.
22nd timeout, Dick, has been called by the Rockets, so they have 3 full timeouts left. Seattle 2 plus their 20.
Yeah, Seattle, I think, would like to have another timeout with 4:25 to go. They don't have it because you can't advance the ball on a 20-second timeout, which could become crucial in the last minute and a half or two.
Well, you coaches keep track of that stuff, don't you, all the time?
Well, you do worry about it because I used to hoard those timeouts like you can't believe. I would like to have 5 going into the last 2 minutes if I could.
Did you ever get trapped without one? They're going to start all over again. Dick Vivetta came over to explain what the situation was all about. 4:28-24 new clock. And Dick Vivetta, I'm glad he told us before he told George Karl. It's very important, Chuck, that the television announcers find out about what's going on with the clock and with the Olajuwon 20-second timeout before the coaches. Don't you agree?
Yeah, well, the 20-second timeout keeps Olajuwon in the game, and they've got to be ecstatic about that because with 4+ to go, down 4.
Neither team has a foul to give. Kenny Smith has been brilliant tonight for the Rockets with 27 points and 9 assists, but Houston is down by 4. Mario Elie for 3 hits. And it's a 1-point game. Elie with 10 points, and that was a huge one for the Rockets.
Maybe the biggest shot of the entire season for the Houston Rockets.
Under 4 minutes to play. Jockeying inside between Ori and Sam Perkins. Perkins up and under, and a great play by a left-hander going to the baseline.
Great touch. You know what's causing the problem for the Sonics? They're pressuring the ball so far out on the floor, it's opening up the basket for Olajuwon, and when he swings it out, they can't recover to these three-point shooters.
Elie driving, no foul. It was again Perkins with the great defense inside. Drexler steals the ball. 3:20 to go. It's a 3-point Sonic lead, and a 3-pointer rushed up there by Kenny Smith. Misses. Rockets are going to have to be patient if they want to stay with the quicker Sonics. Here is Perkins inside foul as Ori lands on it.
What a veteran play by Sam Perkins. Catches the ball, doesn't worry about getting it up quickly and getting it blocked. He's going to take the hit, go to the free throw line. Watch carefully. Great pass by Detlef Schrempf. Keeps the ball, fakes it, makes sure he gets fouled. He's got 2 free ones.
Well, you remember Perkins at North Carolina with James Worthy, Michael Jordan. They have all tasted championships. Perkins, of course, been with the Lakers, earlier with the Dallas Mavericks. Very steady guy, always has that sort of a sleepy look, but he doesn't play sleepy, does he?
What a great touch for a big guy, a premier three-point shooter, but we've watched him on the box, can score on the box, particularly with mismatches, got great patience and a lot of veteran savvy.
2 for 2 tonight from the free throw line, and a chance to give the Sonics a 5-point lead. Inside the NBA, coming up after the game with Vince Cellini.
And Perkins is 79% shooter during the course of the season. Misses the first.
14 points for Perkins. Nate McMillan checks in for Hersey Hawkins. You know, you want the defense at this point. That's the move by George Karl. 1 out of 2 for Perkins, and it's a 4-point lead for the Sonics, who are up by 6 after 3, after Houston had a 4-point lead at halftime.
They wanted to go to Drexler coming off Olajuwon. They finally get it, but the trap took him out of it early, forcing the clock down.
Drexler with 6 on the shot clock, passes inside to Ori, and he can't connect. Gets the ball out. Ori has been hesitant to shoot tonight, although this time Robert Ori hits a huge 3. So Ellie and Ori with big shots from downtown in the last minute.
Both picked up on loose balls, hustled by Drexler. Kelly, here's that pick and roll again.
Gary Payton leaves it for Schrempf. Under 2.5 to go, fourth quarter. Schrempf finding Kemp, going strong to the hoop, no basket, and a foul called against the Rockets, and that will send Kemp to the line. That is 3 against Hakeem Olajuwon.
Good to play. Drexler with the steal, kicks it back out, underneath, gets it under. Ori misses the shot. Kemp almost has it. Ori runs it down, just squares up completely alone, and makes the 3.
Kemp is 7 of 8 from the line. Now 8 out of 9, 20 points for Shawn Kemp, 16 rebounds. Kemp had 21 points in Game 2 of the Sacramento series, but he has gotten better as the playoffs have advanced, and he gives the Sonics a 3-point lead, 106-103, 2:20 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Here's that little, they show trap, try to get the ball moved around, then they square up, go man-to-man. They've got Nate McMillan on Drexler.
Playing with 5. Ellie, quick toss, gets it back, and they get it into Olajuwon, who fires it up hard off the glass. Kemp with his 17th rebound of the game, and 2 minutes to go, and the Sonics with a 3-point lead, and this could be a big possession for Seattle in their attempts to go up by a commanding 3-0 margin.
They knew the mismatch. They had the right guy on the box. Detlef Schrempf takes care of business.
25 for Detlef Schrempf, and Rudy T calls a timeout. The Sonics are so close to taking a 3-0 lead over the defending champs.
Someday, tires will be designed to drive you up to 50 miles, even after a puncture. But you'll have to wait for that innovation. Okay, you've waited long enough. The Secura tire system, part of the personal security package, available only on the Lincoln Continental.
Even when you have all the power, your actions are scaring people on my street. Sometimes you have to defend what is yours.
I thought we bust out the steal.
Original Gangsters. Rated R. Starts May 10th.
You look at a garage a lot differently when you see who it belongs to, especially Sears Garage, where right now all Michelin road handlers are on sale. When you need a great deal on tires, take a look at our garage, Sears Auto Center.
What you got there, son? I was just checking out this Homelight electric start gas trimmer.
Electric gas?
Dad, it's a gas trimmer, but with an electric start. So you just push this button. It's pretty cool.
Feels good.
The electric start gas-powered trimmer from Homelight.
so easy to start. You can't wait to get started.
Someday, satellites will help summon emergency assistance to vehicles at the push of a button.
Help is on the way, Mrs. Miller.
But you'll have to wait for that innovation. Okay, you've waited long enough. The personal security package with rescue. Available only on the Lincoln Continental.
All right, here's Detlef Schrempf. Immediately, Peyton looked at George Karl. They went to Schrempf. Schrempf has Ellie, backs him down. Little jump hook all the way.
Detlef Schrempf with 25 points and 4 personal fouls, 10 of 15 from the field. Everyone knows about Kemp and Peyton, but the wily veteran in his 11th year, Detlef Schrempf, there's the timeout story. Houston has 2 left. Seattle 2 plus a 20. No fouls to give. 108 to 103. Every possession for the Rockets, especially critical down the stretch now. Drexler with a long three, short, and the rebound by Kemp. Seems as the Rockets have given up trying to get inside. Olajuwon 0 for 2 this quarter and only 2 points in all in this final quarter. So they did not go to Hakeem. And a foul call and slow getting up. And injured.
Sam Perkins looks as though he fell on his arm or his hand. And don't like the looks of this.
Corey's 4th foul. And a timeout called by the Sonics. Full timeout. And it looks like his left hand or the left hand that he was nursing.
Take a look. There's Ori. Grabbed him on the arm. He goes to dive for the ball. Comes down on both wrists. And then
someone stepped on his left hand.
And then when he turned under, injured his left wrist.
And Sam Perkins is going to go to the bench at least, where the bench has outscored the Rockets bench for Seattle 26 to 12. Timeout.
The NBA playoffs, Spurs, Jazz, Sunday at 8 on TNT.
These days, more and more people are doing things they never imagined before. People who never imagined a minivan could drive like a car are driving the Mercury Villager. People who never imagined how much fun driving could be are driving the Mercury Mystique. And people who never imagined a car could look and feel this solid are driving the all-new Mercury Sable.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury.
For a limited time, get $2.9 financing or $600 cash back on Mercury Sable and Mystique.
What's going through his head? The street if he jumps.
Maybe I should move my car.
Nice pun.
Dockers, flat front khaki.
I should have gotten a dog.
Seattle Sonics trying to stretch their winning streak over the Houston Rockets to 12 games in a row. The last time Houston won was on March 10th of 1994. Sonics were the last team to knock the Rockets out of the playoffs. That was in 93. And right now, Hakeem Olajuwon and Houston within a minute 23 of going down 3-0 in this series. A report on Sam Perkins from Dick.
It's just a mild sprain. They're going to keep playing him. He's okay. Back to Dick and Chuck.
All right, Dick, thank you very much. As Perkins going to the line and making the first free throw. Perkins tonight with 16 points. And has been an outstanding free throw shooter. Makes them both. The Rockets, he shot 64% from the field in the first half, only 29% in the second. Down by 7 with 1:16 to go, and they need a miracle in this game. Here is Hakeem Olajuwon with a fake basket off the rim, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Interesting defensive set by the Sonics. No double team, played straight up. Even Hakeem didn't go to the double, say, we're not going to give up a three-point shot with this 7-point lead. We'll let him go to the basket, score 2. Now he's got to do it from the free throw line.
And as it was, if the ball had gone in, he would have had a chance for a three-point play. He's 8 for 9 from the free throw line. Olajuwon now with 21 points. And Hersey Hawkins checks in.
An offensive, a defensive substitution. Hawkins offensively. They go to McMillan defensively.
Olajuwon with 2 free throws. 5-point game. Rockets need stop defensively. As we wind down to a minute remaining. Here in the 4th quarter. On the road, the Sonics trying to win on the road, and Kemp calls a timeout. And now the Sonics are left with just a 20-second timeout. And it is a 20, so they have 1 full timeout to go.
Let's take a look at the play. Kemp gets caught where no player should be against the double team, and that's on the sideline. Look how close he is. Makes it very easy for the defense. You've got to stay out at least 6 to 8 feet off the sideline. Then you can make entry passes. You have someplace to go. Once you go to that sideline in a double team, you've got a problem. Fortunately, they have the 20.
The look on Rudy T's face, one of not quite resignation, but the fact is that the Rockets really have to pull out something miraculous here as Shrimp, with 9 on the clock, under a minute to go. It's a 5-point game. Shrimp is fouled by Robert Horry, and Detlef Shrimp will go to the line. That's 5 on Horry.
And Horry came with only 5 seconds on the shot clock. And I don't think Shrimp was thinking about shot at that point. If he squares him up, they might be able to get the ball without giving up the attempts at the free throw line.
Shrimp is 4 for 4 tonight. And Nate McMillan again in that offense-defensive substitution. The defensive man is in there now. Again, inside the NBA coming up after the game. Got to give the Seattle Sonics a tremendous amount of credit. They took Houston's best punt in the first half, went down by 4 after they were down by 16 early on. The emotion went by the wayside, and then the quickness, the speed, and tenacity of the Sonics took over this game.
Ken Griffey Jr., athlete.
Hey, Nick, finish. This is a Griffin for President commercial. You know he's running for president, right? You know there's more to life than sports, man. There's
He
politics.
is a fabulous American hero. There has been anybody
He got some interesting ideas about that black tax. Check him out.
who picked the Mariner Moose as a running mate. Includes consideration for animals.
Now, that moose could be a liability. Hey, let me tell you what. I should be his running mate. I mean, that's a good job, because you don't got to do squat. Come on, Nick. Power to the people. Stick it to the man. No noose. Save the whale.
Hyperkeratosis? Symptom: persistent, itchy, flaky scalp. Solution: Neutrogena T-Gel. It works. Neutrogena T-Gel Shampoo. Recommended #1 by dermatologists.
I don't know, but it's been said, athlete's foot's as good as dead. Mighty, mighty. No cooling action. Stop the itch and cool the burn. Penetrates to kill the germ. Athlete's foot, don't let it win. Stamp it out with Micah 10.
Join us Sunday at 8 Eastern for our pregame show, and we'll check out all the NBA action from Sunday's activities. And then at 8:30 Eastern, it's Game 4 of the Spurs-Jazz series. So join us Sunday at 8 Eastern, and Monday, also at 8 Eastern, it's Game 4 of the Magic-Hawks series.
And, of course, the Magic looking to wind up that series, having won 3 straight. There's a tired, dejected Olajuwon going for this 3rd title. But you know what? As Yogi Berra has said often, never say never, even being 3 down. Anything can happen.
You're right, Chuck. And the Rockets were down 3-1 to the Suns last year. They were down 2-0 in our home losses 2 years ago. And they may be put in a situation of doing or trying to do something that no one has ever done in the NBA playoffs. We'll accept that challenge. Whether they do it or not is another question. Olajuwon with a turnaround. It's 112 to 107 with 43 seconds to go, and the Rockets are going to have to foul. And Mario Elie fouls Gary Payton. And if the Sonics make their free throws, there's nothing the Rockets can do. That's 5 on Mario Elie.
Well, no one has solved the Seattle SuperSonics defense, and that's that quick little double team. It's bothered Sacramento. It has bothered Houston. I think that you have to attack that when it happens. I don't think you could just hold the ball and then come back and try to play with 14 seconds on the clock.
Payton misses his first attempt at the line tonight, and if anything can keep the Rockets alive would be missed free throws. And he misses them both, and Elijah on the rebound. And the Rockets will call a timeout, and they are out of timeout. But with the 2 missed free throws, Houston very much in the game, down by 5. That's 2 possessions, and we'll be back.
There's a place where the humidity can be so thick you can practically cut it with a knife. And spaghetti sauce flies through the air with wild abandon. It's the Dutch Boy Paint Testing Facility, where we put Dutch Boy kitchen and bath paint through over 70 tests to be sure it resists moisture, peeling, and even staining. All to make sure that when you buy Dutch Boy, you're not just getting a paint that looks beautiful. You're getting a paint that lasts. We guarantee it. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
Score is 112 to 107. The Sonics lead the Rockets. Houston is out of timeouts with 39.3 seconds remaining. And Houston now coming out. Now, everyone would think, go for the 3, not necessarily the recipe, would you say, at this point, or is it?
No, there's too much time on the clock. You can go inside. If the Sonics play straight-up defense, which they have in previous possessions, you could go to Hakeem. He could go to the basket, score, and get fouled. They will look for a 2 or a 3. They need a score at this point. Doesn't matter how they get it. And maybe Drexler goes to the basket very quickly and tries to get fouled. They love to stop the clock and get to the line.
Rockets trying to dig down deep here and come back. Time running out for them. Drexler out to Kenny Smith. Very tight defense extended by the Sonics. Drexler going baseline, lays it in with 29-2 to go. It's a 3-point game, 112 to 109, and Kemp is fouled by Kenny Smith, and not much choice for the Rockets. They had to foul in a hurry.
Well, Detlef Schrempf going to the line, up 3, 77% shooter from the free throw line this year, but you touched on it. They got to keep making those free throws, and they're easy earlier. Here's Drexler going baseline, wide open because they were fronting Hakeem. No help.
Schrempf is 6 for 6 from the line tonight. And a big one. That gives the Sonics a 4-point lead, and that makes it a 2-possession game right now for Houston. 26.4 seconds remaining, and the Rockets do not have a timeout to call. 1 out of 2, 4-point game, but it's still 2 possessions the Rockets need. Here's Robert Horry to Mario Ellie. Drexler from the top misses. Horry fighting for the offensive rebound, and it is still Houston ball as Payton couldn't keep it inbound with 13.8. Seattle has 1 timeout to go. Here's Ellie, and Ellie hits a 3, and it's a 1-point game. 113 to 112, and a quick foul with 10.2 seconds remaining. Ellie with a 3-pointer extends the drama in this game to the final second. Gary Payton, who missed 2 free throws just a moment ago, will go to the line.
Take a look at this play. Schrempf just drops off, leaves Ellie wide open for the 3, and now it's free throw shooting.
And a big one. Now, if Payton makes it, it'll be a 3-point game, and the Rockets still have a chance for a 3-point basket with no timeouts remaining, 10.2 seconds to go. He makes them both.
They're going to have to push it.
No timeouts remaining. Horry will inbound it. Here is Mario Ellie. Time running down. 7 seconds to go. Here's a three, and it's off the glass. Perkins the rebound, and this game is over. The Seattle Sonics have won a huge road game and have taken a commanding 3-0 lead in the best-of-7 Western Semifinals, putting the defending champions of the last 2 years in a position in which no team in history have ever overcome a 3-0 deficit to win. Final score, the Sonics 115 and the Rockets 112. And this capacity crowd at the Summit is dead silent. Right now, let's go to Dick Versace.
All right, I'm here with Gary Payton. Well, Glove, you had your work cut out for you tonight. Went right down to the wire.
Well, yeah, we know that was going to happen up here in Houston. We had to just stay with our game plan. They made a big run at us at the first quarter, first half. We came back. We kept our composure. We made our free throws down in the stretch and made it a close one.
Well, how are you feeling now? You're up 3-0.
Well, we're feeling good, but we still know, this team is a good ball club. We need one more game, and we're just going to take it as business-like as we've been doing all the time, and hopefully that we can get that one on Sunday.
Were you being told tonight that the Rockets were tired, they were fatigued?
Well, we've seen it at the end of the third, at the end of the third and the beginning of the fourth. We just took it right to them. We've seen it was a little bit fatigued, but we have to go at that kind of situation, and we did a good job at it.
They were down 3-1 to Phoenix, came back and won that series. What about that?
Well, we can't look at that. We just got to keep playing the way we playing. That was in the past. This is now. We just have to keep playing.
All right, you've beaten this team 12 straight times. Can you make it 13?
I hope so. I hope we can do it on Sunday, but I'm not going to say anything right now. I'm just going to relax and enjoy this win right now.
All right, Gary. Thanks a lot.
All right, Dick.
All right, back to Dick and Chuck.
Well, I think we're with the quiet assassin on this team. Everyone talks about Kemp and Payton, and they have played terrifically, but Detlef Schrempf very quietly in some respects. You have given playmaking, rebounding, and scoring to this team in the series. Tell us about how your play has gone on.
I just try to play basketball. I think we have so many good players that when we play together, on defense we play together most of the time, but on offense sometimes we have a tendency to get a little too aggressive and play 1-on-3. But when we play together, we are a very good team offensively, and I think we have matured into that we make the extra pass, we hit the open guy no matter who it is, and when we do that, we score a lot of points.
Having been eliminated in the first round 2 years in a row, you're playing with tremendous confidence for not having been this far against the defending champion. And all of the things you talked about are there. What about the mental aspect of it?
Well, I think we were really tested in the first round. Sacramento, I think they were playing well. They were healthy. And obviously, we had a lot of pressure on us. We lost at home, and people were trying to mail it in already. And I think we came back strong in Sacramento. We stayed together, and I think that has been the difference this year. We are more of a team with better chemistry, and we're having a lot of fun.
There was a key play down the stretch when George called your number. Gary looked over, called your number. You went to the box and had the jump hook shot, a significant play. They seemed to know where to go on your club.
Well, I've been hitting that little hook shot. It's been falling for me, and a lot of times they play a smaller guy on me, and we try to take advantage of it. They have double teamed, but tonight they didn't, and I was able to get some good shots out.
Detlef, it was interesting that Sacramento gave you quite a battle in the first round. Do you think that helped you coming into this series with Houston?
Oh, definitely. I think mentally it prepared us because there was so much stress on us that we stayed together, we played together, and we played hard. Maybe not smart, but we played hard, and now we're playing hard and a little smarter.
Now, you're up 3-0 in a series, and you people have been very good not to talk too much, and you let your playing do the talking. But now you're up 3-0, and you can see that you've got the quickness, you've got the legs on this team. Do you feel that things are going your way now?
Well, they are going our way. We're up 3-0, but we've beaten them now. You said 12 times in a row, and everybody's thinking, well, they're going to win one. They're going to win one, and hopefully that won't creep into our thinking because I think we can win the next game too. If we don't, hopefully we can take it home and win it at home.
I think there's got to be a lot of questions on the Houston Rockets' minds, but killing a club off and getting that final win in a 7-game series is very, very difficult against a tough club.
They've been there before. It's not going to be easy. I think for them next game, they're going to throw everything at us. And I thought tonight we weathered their storm early on. They were up 16, 18 points, and we came back. And I think we can stay with that, play our defense, and we have a good chance of winning.
Detlef Schrempf, 28 points to lead his team. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Fine game. The Sonics win. George Karl couldn't be any happier. Sonics go up 3-0 over the defending champs. We'll be back.
Looking for love with just a glance it happened. Love came looking for me. Get out of my
Dockers, flat front khakis.
These days, more and more people are doing things they never imagined before. People who never imagined a minivan could drive like a car are driving the Mercury Villager. People who never imagined how much fun driving could be are driving the Mercury Mystique. And people who never imagined the car could look and feel this solid are driving the all-new Mercury Sable.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury.
For a limited time, get 2.9 financing or 600 cash back on Mercury Sable and Mystique.
You don't take orders from anyone but the sea. The harder you work, the more you earn. And the more you earn, the more you keep. And after it's all said and done, you walk away with the two things nobody can take. Good friends and good corn.
Jr., athlete.
Hey, Nick, finish. This is a good bit for president commercial. You know he's running for president, right? You know there's more than life than sports, man. There's politics.
He's a fabulous American hero. There hasn't been anybody.
He got some interesting ideas about that black tax. Check him out.
He picked the Mariner Moose as a running mate. Consideration for animals.
Now, that moose could be a liability. Hey, let me tell you what. I should be his running mate. I mean, that's the job, because you gotta do squats. Come on, Nick, power to the people. Stick it to the man. No noose. Save the way.
The NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Lincoln Mercury and the complete line of 1996 Lincoln and Mercury automobiles. By Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth. And by Dockers. Nice. You'll be one of the best-dressed guys in the house, no matter what coach is in town. And
Deadlift Shrimp and Gary Payton led Seattle with 28. Drexler with 28. Smith 27. Elijah Wan 24 as the Sonics trailed by 16 in the first quarter, came back and won. Our thanks to Marty Aronoff, our statistician, as the Sonics make it 3-0, winning 115-112. Join us Sunday at 8 Eastern for our pregame show on TNT at 8:30 Eastern. Game 4 of the San Antonio-Utah series. Coming up next, it's Inside the NBA with Vince Cellini and special guest Gary St. Jean, coach of the Kings. So for Chuck Daly and Dick Versace, this is Dick Stockton saying so long from the summit in Houston, Texas.
Seven Cities Built
by JT.
7 Cities Built
by JT.
Jack.
Hey. Get your own beer.
Since 1873, original Coors in the yellow can.
So I hear Ray got a new pickup.
What?
You said you had fished here before.
You're lost.
No.
Come on.
No. Come on, you can admit it. No.
Come on. Tell me.
I'm not lost.
Check out the 96 Rodeos at the Great Isuzu Clearance Event. It's going on now.
で、お子さんたち新しいコンピューター気に入ったの？
それがまだ立ち上げてないんだ。何しろ僕は不器用なもんでね。
うちじゃ千葉がみんなに大人気。IBM のホームコンピューター、CD ラムがついてて、ソフトもいっぱいあるし、箱から出してすぐ使えるようになってるんですよ。
単位でもセットアップできるってわけ？
腕はいらないのよ。
Griffey's home run strut could be a problem. If it's interpreted as arrogance, we don't want an arrogant president. If it's interpreted as joy, as enthusiasm, it helps, but at another level, it also reminds people of his youth. You don't know. It's all in how it's spun. Griffey's people have to spin that home run trot is, here is somebody who has gotten the job done and feels good that he's doing it for the team.
The NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Original Coors. There's nothing like beer from up here. By Isuzu, makers of incredible four-wheel drives. By IBM, solutions for a small planet. And by Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth.
Final score, the Sonics defeat the Rockets in an exciting game that had everything tonight. 105-101 to take a 2-0 lead in the best-of-7 West semifinals. And if you want to look at the Rockets, yes, they are indeed in a familiar spot. Last year, down 2-1 to Utah, won that one. They were trailing Phoenix 3-1, beat the Suns in 7. And the year before, trailed both the Suns and the Knicks, only to win. Question is, how many times can you go to that well, Chuck?
Yeah, that's a good question, but they'll go home. They're a very comfortable club. They're confident. They trust each other. We're going to have brilliant 2 games in Houston.
Basically, what the Sonics did was hold serve on their home court. So that's the final score. 105-101, the Sonics beat the Rockets. Join us tomorrow for another playoff doubleheader. At 7 Eastern, you'll see Game 1 of Utah and San Antonio. Then at 9:30 Eastern, it's Game 2 of New York and Chicago. That's tomorrow night on TNT. But stay right here, because what's up next? Vince Cellini and Rick Mahorn on Inside the NBA.
What's the big surprise?
Knicks tickets.
American Express?
I got a little proposition.
Whoa! Hey, you got my ticket!
Think again, my friend.
Oh, there!
American Express, the official card of the NBA.
I'd have gone to the moon for these.
Tell me about it.
Pennzoil technology leads the way again. Pennzoil 97, first to fully achieve 1997's tougher GF2 motor oil performance standard that requires higher fuel efficiency, reduced volatility burn-off, full-time protection against high rev foaming. Don't wait. Get tougher GF2 motor oil performance for your car today. Get Pennzoil 97 and get it now.
Pennzoil, a broadcast sponsor of NBC's coverage of the 1996 Olympic Summer.
Get pumped, get jazzed, get revved to win TNN and Cable Rep Advertising's Motorsports Sweepstakes. You could win a trip for two to the Phoenix 500 NASCAR Winston Cup race in Phoenix, Arizona. Prize includes round-trip airfare, 3 days, 2 nights hotel accommodations, tickets to the race, a special pit tour, plus 5 second prize winners each receive TNN Motorsports packs. Get revved up and enter today.
Register to win TNN's Rev to Win sweepstakes at Bill's Seafood House in Grafton and Merrimack Chrysler Plymouth in Hampton.
Ever feel like talking to the animals? You know, discuss with the duck, spout off to a sheep, dialogue with a deer, listen to a llama, gab with a goat, argue with an emu, jabber with a jaguar, tattle to a tiger, lecture to a lion, talk to a turkey, deliberate with a donkey, converse with a calf, lingo with a lynx, or articulate with an eagle. Then come to the petting zoo at the SPCA, J. Clyde Morris Boulevard, Newport News. Oh, and while you're there, maybe you'll want to discourse with a dog or conference with a cat. Because you never know when you'll find that special animal that will talk just to you.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Turner Sports.
Actually, you know, 3-year All-American in college, won a championship, Frock and Jock Hall of Fame, and I got to deal with this one. I can feel it in my heart and up through my bones. I can't take it anymore. I got a basketball Jones. And they say Dennis Rodman has problems. This guy's better get a break.
Basketball fans, get ready for this. This is inside the NBA. I can feel it in my heart and all up to my bones. I can't take it anymore. I got a basketball Jones. And yes, I am a fan. I like to watch them to play. I'm getting ready for my girl inside the NBA. Now they got all the stories of the highlights and slams, and they got plenty of interviews for a basketball fan. Are you ready? The NBA. I'm getting ready. It's inside the NBA.
And you can look for my complete collection of NBA hits. It's not sold in stores, but stand by on this program for complete ordering information. Me, Slim Whitman, Engelbert Humperdinck, a whole bit. In the words of Manute Bol, that's Rick Mahorn, the pride of the New Jersey Nets with us tonight. Rick, thanks for sticking around.
Hey, thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
And what do you think, Bad Boy Revisited? We had a good game tonight.
Yes, it was. It was very exciting. I mean, three-pointers out of the air. I mean, they shoot like I do.
More on that in a minute, Rick. Hold that thought. Let's get right to the game tonight. Good news for Houston tonight. The good news, well, it couldn't get any worse. Their game one shellacking at the hands of the Sonics. That was one for the ages. Buried by 33 points, a team record for punishment. Hakeem held to a personal playoff low of 6 points. As Rockets go, these were the bottle variety. So what would happen in Game 2 at Key Arena? Would the resilient Rockets bounce back? As Rick said, this was quite a show. Also, that's quite a piece of hardware there for Gary Payton, named NBA Defensive Player of the Year. There's Kenny Smith. The dish to Chucky Brown scoring underneath. Houston with the early 2-point lead. Payton, defense, they go together. Stealing Olajuwon's pass. He's going to go in, fouled by Ori as well. The game was tied up in the first. Now to the third. This is where it got crazy. They're shooting from all over. Detlef Schrempf, a three-pointer. Robert Ori answers with a tray. More three-pointers. Kenny Smith, Percy Hawkins. The Hawk knocks that one down. It turned into a three-point exhibition. Then Mario Elie, what a good look here. Driving to the basket there. 103-101, Seattle in front. Down by 2. This is a Rocket possession. There's your Defensive Player of the Year again. Gary Payton harassing the Dream, stealing it, and he shows the glove. That's the glove, and that was the difference in the game. As the Sonics win 105-101, and they lead the series now 2-0. Schrempf at 21, Payton 18, McMillan 15, 5 of 5 from three-point range. Drexler 19 and Hakeem 17. The Sonics won 11 straight now over the Rockets. Game 3 shifts to the Summit on Friday night. Remember this, though. The Rockets, 4 years in a row now, down 0-2 in semifinal play. They came back to beat Phoenix the last 2 years. The year before that, though, they lost to Seattle in 7 games. Perhaps an omen. Now the three-point feast we were talking about. Seattle with the most three-pointers in a game, playoff or otherwise. 20 of 27 tonight. We see the Houston Rockets, they've been involved in a lot of these games. In fact, all the rest. And their 13 of 27 tonight keeps them in the record books as we count it down. So a three-point barrage, and it's the Sonics coming out on top. And Rick, you mentioned three-point shooting. Career 5 of 37 you are from three-point range. That's a nifty 14%. So our stats crew, you know,
they're
really all over it.
Good. They went to the book for it.
Surprised at all? Not that I pulled out that stat, but that they shot it up like this, and really maybe not to Houston's advantage.
Well, Houston is a good three-point shooter. That's one of their weapons that they have out there. But Seattle, in turn, was shooting the ball very well tonight. I mean, they walked out of the locker room and said, I'm going to shoot a three from here.
All right, now let's move on the inside, from the inside the arc here, and that's our inside look at the game, the Sonics and the Rockets. And you know how in Game 1, the Sonics swarmed Hakeem. He was held at 9 shots and just 6 points. Rick, what kind of job did they do against us tonight?
Well, tonight, when they double-teamed him, he was right down there looking for the man to come trap. So Seattle did trap and got the turnover. At the next possession, he saw Cutting Drexler coming to the basket for the easy lay-in. And then as he reestablishes the post, the man gets there too late to do that, and what it results in is Hakeem getting the 2 points.
So just a good all-around job. Now let's talk about the Houston Rockets, and as I mentioned, they've been down 0-2 in a semifinal series before. What do you think their mindset is now as two-time defending champs as they go home in this hole?
Well, they bounced back from coming from that 33-point loss just a couple of days ago. For them to go back there and establish themselves to get a win at home, that's going to be very important. They have to protect their home so they can carry this to a 7-game series.
But a pretty classy team, and there's no panic with that team.
No, it isn't. They're all professionals, true professionals. Everybody has to respect to see them walk on the court. What they did tonight, they showed that they had the heart of the lion to come back and perform well tonight.
Okay, let's move on now, and it's time for the AutoZone News of the Day. It involves the basketball shrine, and it involves some of the greatest players of all time, inducted into the Springfield, Massachusetts Hall of Fame. On this Monday, the newest basketball Hall of Famers took their place among the all-time greats. The inductees included the Iceman, George Gervin, who won 4 NBA scoring titles using the signature finger roll, as well as David Thompson's in there, he of the 44-inch vertical leap. Also, Gail Goodrich, the great Laker guard, UCLA guard, George Bird Yardley, Olympic medalist Nancy Lieberman-Klein, and the late Yugoslav star Vesemir Kosic. Inductees now number 215 people and 4 teams, all in Springfield. James Naismith invented the game more than 104 years ago during Rick's rookie year. I was just kidding, big man. I was just kidding, big man. Okay. We got a lot of show to do. Wait a minute.
Okay.
All right, there's much more ahead on Inside the NBA, including Rick's old pal, Dennis Rodman. I'm no makeup expert, but I'll tell you what. I'd have to say that for Dennis, the tip here is less eyeshadow. That would be a good start. Word on his look and his world and maybe his NBA title. Nice boa, by the way.
Inside the NBA is brought to you by Foot Locker, the world's most complete athletic footwear store. Foot Locker, where it all began.
Too hot in your car? Don't sweat it. Now at Pep Boys, get a cool deal on our air conditioning quick check for only $19.99. Our AC quick check only $19.99. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
Gravity by Foot Locker. Of all the laws of nature, you are my least favorite.
It's not your fault you exist, but gravity.
You are no friend of mine. You do not belong in my house. So you show up every morning. I defy you, Gravity. You are not my obstacle.
That grin you see, that's me knowing I will beat you.
If only for an instant. Even if it's just for an instant. Foot Locker, where it all begins and gravity ends.
So what's the big surprise?
Knicks tickets.
American Express? I got a little proposition. Whoa! Hey, you got my ticket! Think again, my friend. Oh, there!
American Express, the official card of the NBA.
I'd have gone to the moon for these.
Tell me about it.
How helpful are Ace Hardware dealers during helpful hardware days? Well, maybe not that helpful. But they will give you a little extra help at some extra big savings. You can't help but notice, Ace is a place with the helpful hardware folks.
Boys, I'm tired of being a cowboy. The open range, driving cattle, no longer excite me. He's gone loco. I want to drive the open lane. I want to set the pig. Boys, I'm joining the NBA!
Start with the T-shirt. Work on the no-look.
I know they look funny with shorts, but they really help my vertical.
by Starks. 3-on-2. Hoffer gives it back. With the slam. Oh, the highlight reel. Oh, yeah. This is incredible. Welcome to the playoffs.
He wanted no restrictions. He doesn't want shirts on. He doesn't want shoes, containment, none of those kinds of things.
Underwear?
No, he wants to do his thing. And it gets in the way sometimes.
But you like him?
Yeah, I love him. I love him. I love him.
Today on the Oprah Winfrey Show, Chicago loves Dennis too, and he's a former teammate of yours, obviously, the bad boy days. You played on a title team with him in '89, but what's with the Dennis Rodman of today as opposed to those days? Is this just an exaggerated version?
An exaggerated version, but I mean, back then he was, you know, a little bit more straight-laced, but right now he's enjoying it. I mean, he's taking it to another level. But he's always the guy that comes on 82 games. He's working hard, and he always has a pail and a bucket. He's ready to go for work.
Workmanlike all the time. He was a real great role player for the Piston teams, and he knows his role with this team. He's fit right in. He's the missing component they needed.
Yeah, after they got rid of Horace, you know, where Horace Grant went to free agency, and then they acquired Dennis in a trade, that's just going to bring them to another level. Look, they got the best record ever in the NBA.
What do you think about the get-up there for the book signing?
I might have to try a bow on myself, and pink might not be my color, though.
Whatever.
Might be yours, though.
All right, it's going to be that way now. Okay.
Yeah, the whole night.
All right, the whole night long. We got 3 nights of this. In fact, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Semifinals is in the books. Mike's back hurt, but the Knicks stay felt the pain, and his 44 points in a 91-84 victory. All right, still an injured Jordan was too much for several Knicks players assigned to guard him. Game 2 is Tuesday on TNT. Our Craig Sager brings us up to speed in Chicago.
We're not used to Superman being human, and just the thought of Michael Jordan grimacing in discomfort with back pain had those from Gotham City ready to seize the opportunity. But if Jordan's back was bothering him, you couldn't tell on Sunday.
I didn't want to come out looking hurt, by no means. I feel when they see you bleed, they're going to try to go for the blood, more blood. So, you know, I wanted to come out and look healthy and take some of the focus away from my back.
Jordan scored 44, and the Bulls needed every one of them. None more so than a driving layup over Patrick Ewing after the Knicks had cut the lead to 4 in the final 3 minutes.
I felt going to my right, I could beat him and get to the hole and make Patrick either block the shot or try to draw a charge to get to the hole or draw a foul, something. You know, and I saw a clear lane and I took it.
He saw a gap and was able to get right down the lane. That's too easy of a shot, I think, with the game on the line, and that's one of the things that we have to limit is the easy shots that they're able to get on us. I should have stepped up a little quicker. I didn't think it was going to go all the way, and he did.
Any speculation that the Bulls' trip to the finals would ride down easy streak have been laid to rest. The second collision is tomorrow, and the Knicks feel confident they can knock the Bulls off course.
It's just one game, you know, simple as that. You know, they up 1-0 now. Game 2 is on Tuesday. We're going to go work on some things and prepare for the game come Tuesday.
But Michael Jordan's self-imposed job description is to win. It's engraved in granite. The best there ever was, the best there ever will be. As the Knicks learn in Game 1 on Sunday, you don't tug on Superman's cape.
You don't spit into the wind. You know that one.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, that's impressive when you got a statue outside. Before we get to Michael Jordan, I want to talk about a battle of the big men. It's Oakley versus Rodman, and really in playoff basketball, what it's all about. And we can illustrate this with some video as well, and just how much physicality, to use Dick Versace's word, comes into play, Rick.
It's a dogfight. I mean, every night you have to come in and play hard. Basketball is played on the East Coast like a street game. I mean, it's like, you're on my turf, I can't let you come in here and make this layup. I mean, you can see the wide open layup that Jordan had. It just showed that Pat could have stepped up and not let him make those easy baskets.
When you played Jordan and with the Pistons, did you have a certain way you guys were going to play him? Why were you successful?
Yeah, we had Joe Dumars. No, we were all committed defensively to make sure that Jordan went one way. We made sure that he was going to beat us going to his left. And then we were going to have a student body 5 just come over there and meet him. And if it was going to be an easy basket, we're going to make him pay for it a little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit.
All right. Now, again, it's the inside look at what we're talking about here. And this is the Oakley and Rodman matchup. And I think we have some video here to illustrate this. And, the thing is, Dennis chose to wear that hat. But Charles Oakley really didn't want to wear the mask, but that's, I guess, beside the point.
Yeah. Right now, what Oakley and Rodman they're doing right now is they're just establishing themselves in the inside and showing whose basket is this going to be. And once you let somebody come in your house at this point, you know, he went in there and took the ball and stole it and got the easy land. But it's always going to be physical play, so you get bumped and elbowed and things like that. I mean, it's like...
And they let that go.
Well, it's like hockey without the pads and the sticks.
That's rough stuff. There's a lot of body being thrown around there, too. Game 2, what do you think happened here? The Knicks really shouldn't probably change that much. They played pretty well.
No, it's just they need to execute the ball a little bit down at the end of the game. I mean, execution at the end of the game is more important than execution at the beginning. It magnifies 10 times when it's in the playoffs, and when you're throwing the ball away and you can't get a good shot, things happen.
Okay, things do happen. Smiths happen sometimes. That was a saying from when the Pacers were still alive. Right now, we want to go back to Key Arena in Seattle. 105-101, the Sonics take a 2-game-to-none lead over the Rockets. Dick Stockton and Chuck Daly are talking to Shawn Kemp. Fellas?
Thanks, Vince, and we're here with Shawn Kemp, 17 points, 10 rebounds, but the biggest thing you did tonight was what, down the stretch?
Oh, the free throws, they definitely helped us out at the end, and I think the rebounding. I think, you know, my main job and concern this series is going to be the rebounding. I think for us to go on and to improve, you know, when the series get close, it's going to come down to rebounding, the extra shots at the end of the game, and I think that's where I play a big part of it. Also the execution on both ends, defensively and offensively. You went to money on the offensive. You got Gary involved in the pick and roll. He made two or three good decisions, and then defensively, you get the steal on the other end. I think so. I think we're playing smart. You know, we've talked a lot about getting the ball to the right people at the end of the games. If a double team comes, kick it out for that open jump shot. If you can't hit the jump shot, then drive the ball with penetration and look for the guy on the opposite wing, and it's working out well for us.
And Shawn, besides the free throws, of course, the steal and a critical one. Why don't you tell us about it with Hakeem in the low post?
Well, the thing with Hakeem is you just want to, I try to give him one way to go. You know, he's such a good offensive player that you don't know exactly what he's going to do, and we're trying to force him to shoot that turnaround jump shot over there with pressure, and that was just, it was a little luck, and I think it was just execution. It worked out fine for us. It'll be interesting to see how your confidence is when you go into the lair, where a club is so confident that they can win 2 games at home. Yeah, I think so, too. I think the thing we're going to have to do is come out and play with the same intensity and, like I said, rebounding, because when they're at home, it seems like they get a lot more offensive rebounding, and we know they can hit the three-pointers there at their building. So we got our work cut out for us. It looks good right now, but like I said, we struggled the last 2 years, Chuck, and we're not going to lay down right now. We're just going to try to work and stay into it.
All right, so the Sonics brimming with confidence. Congratulations, Shawn. 2-0, Seattle over Houston. That's the story from here right now. Let's send it back to Vince Cellini.
All right, thank you, Dick Stockton and Chuck Daly. And again, 2-0, the Sonics lead Game 3 Friday night at the Summit in Houston. We have to take a break right now, but we'll be back and talk about the Miller family. Only one left in postseason now, and that's Cheryl. Coming up, Reggie's back in uniform on Sunday, but for only a day. A look back at the Pacers and Hawks and a surprise at Market Square Arena.
Hungry? Eat 'em up.
Why wait?
How helpful are Ace Hardware dealers during helpful hardware days? Well, maybe not that helpful. But they will give you a little extra help at some extra big savings. You can't help but notice, Ace is a place with the helpful hardware folks.
Wrangler jeans have always been worn by cowboys. But nowadays, even horses wear them. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
Wrangler, the perfect jean for your 10-year-old son. And your 10-year-old husband. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
Who says there's no such thing as a free lunch? Right now, when you order any Cox pay-per-view movie for only $3.95, you'll also get a coupon good for 1 free Arby's regular roast beef combo meal. Part of the proceeds benefits the William A. Hunton YMCA in Norfolk. So order a $3.95 Cox pay-per-view movie today to help the Hunton YMCA, and we'll give you a free lunch from Arby's. Sponsored by Cox Pay-Per-View, Arby's, Pepsi, Belo, and GTE MobileNet.
The game of golf teaches a great lesson. To finish the game, you have to accept and overcome unexpected obstacles. At the Children's Hospital of the King's Daughters, our kids understand life's lessons all too well. On July 18th and 19th, the Broad Bay Country Club in Virginia Beach will be hosting the Kids Play for Kids Junior Golf Tournament, ages 8 to 18, presented by the Circle of Hearts of the Norfolk City Union of the King's Daughters. Your financial support can help because overcoming obstacles is what life, like golf, is all about.
They did all the little things that we didn't do tonight. They came up with big plays while we didn't. It hurts. It doesn't matter if you're playing or watching. Losing's no fun. I'm sure it's not fun for the fans watching, especially at home.
Reggie Miller back by Steve Miller Band. I'm sure this wasn't Reggie's vision of a Game 5. He had 29 points in 31 minutes. As you saw him take the floor yesterday, what were your thoughts, this guy playing hurt?
It was nice to see a guy come back and just try to get in there for his team, and that shows that he's very admirable to do that. But sometimes it throws the balance off on your team also, which, I mean, he came out there and played hard. But see, a lot of teams they like playing with their star player, not to put that much pressure on them. And see, when you have your star player there, you want to go through him into the game, and they were playing 4 games without him.
That's a good point. But now the Atlanta Hawks moving on. And what was it Coach Lenny Wilkins called his Atlanta Hawks? America's guests, making themselves at home yesterday at Indianapolis. Atlanta wins. Orlando's next for them. Kevin Kiley leads the Hawk Talk discussion group now.
Reggie Miller surprised the Atlanta Hawks, bouncing back from an eye injury and scoring 29 points, coming up very big in Game 5 of their Round 1 series. But it was the Atlanta Hawks that surprised the Pacers and the rest of the country as they win the deciding game here at Market Square Arena. And it'll be the Hawks advancing to Round 2 against the Orlando Magic.
Sometimes you can't even worry about what people say or what they think. It's just being able to go out and have fun in the court and play the game of basketball. And that's the important thing. And I think we really came out and enjoyed this ball game tonight.
I knew once I joined the Hawks that they were going to make the playoffs, and then, you know, it all comes down to what you do in the playoffs, how many games you can win, and how well you play. And, you know, we might have stole one here. We came in and played real well, and we won this series, so let's see what happens in the next series.
I think we always had the confidence that we were going to win. We let Game 4 slip away when we couldn't make a shot, and I think to give ourselves 2 games to win one, we put ourselves in that situation to come here and get a win.
You know, everybody is quick to count us out or forget us because we beat them twice this year. Everyone forgets that, you know. But I know it's playoff time, and we're going to step up just like everybody else steps up.
Well, the Hawk Magic series are the Zuzu look ahead. It starts Wednesday at the O Arena, and, you know, really pretty even. The season series, 2-2, each winning on the home floor twice. Shaq missed Game 1 with a bad thumb. And a game of note, 3D, Dennis Scott, in an April 18th win in Orlando, set an NBA record with 11 3-pointers. But Rick, as you look at this series, Atlanta seemingly overmatched in every department. Leitner did a pretty nice job on Smith. Shaq is another story.
Oh, Shaq is huge. I mean, you got to figure the guy is 7'1" and 300 pounds. It's a lot of man.
What can they do otherwise? And maybe a Mookie Blaylock on a Penny Hardaway. Mookie's very active defensively. He gets a lot of steals. He can maybe be disruptive.
Very, very good defensive player. But I just think, you know, Orlando's so strong. And they have bench strength, which is coming out there with Brian Shaw coming off the bench. I mean, you got to look at it. If you look at the record, it might be Orlando. But if you look at it, Atlanta doesn't have anything to lose.
That is a good point. So they can play loose and just go out there and let it go. All right, now this from Lexington, Kentucky, and more kids coming out to play. Walker making the jump. Kentucky's Antoine Walker, 6'8" forward, averaged 15 points, 8 rebounds a game for the NCAA champion Cats. Announcing Monday he'll forego his last 2 years with Kentucky, enter the June draft. His coach Rick Pitino called Walker, quote, the total package. And while Pitino supports his player's decision to go, he really isn't thrilled about the whole situation.
I don't agree with the way the whole thing is playing out in college basketball today. Quite frankly, I think the college game is in serious trouble. I think the NBA is in serious trouble in the long run. In the short run, the college game is going to suffer tremendously. And I think in the long run, the NBA is going to suffer. My reason for saying that is no longer are you going to have wonderful talent like Antoine Walker and Allen Iverson and Stephon Marbury reach their potential at the college game. I think television ratings are going to suffer tremendously. And I think right now it's a terrible system.
Well, Rick Pitino makes all good points. That's long term. Short term, a kid comes out and plays 17, 18 years old, not physically mature, and he has to go against a guy like you, Rick Mahorn. And I mean, he's really going to take some punishment. Is he ready for that?
You know, it's a lot of pounding. You got 82 games. It's not no more a 30-game schedule. You have travel. You have your apartment. You have your car. You have things you have to have responsibility for. It's a big jump.
Time to grow up in a hurry. And one thing we were talking about beforehand, before we went on the air, was the fact that maybe guys are coming in with different attitudes than they did even 10 years ago when rookies would come in and push ball racks back in the locker room after practice. You don't really see that anymore, do you?
No, you don't see that. I think we done got high tech. I mean, carry my laptop for me, you know, things like that. But, you know, guys have to come in with a professional attitude. And if they can't be professional, I mean, you know, you're wasting your time being in this league.
Yeah, well, there's no stopping it now. The floodgates are open. Up next on Inside, we're going to take a look at the other end of that conference call in the West. The mailman, is he ready to go postal in this series? And here's to you, Mr. Robinson. The spur of the moment has been outstanding. We'll dance their little dance next.
Tomorrow, the NBA playoffs continue when the Bulls host the Knicks for semifinal Game 2 at 9:30. But first, Game 1, Jazz Spurs, tomorrow at 7 on TNT.
You're no stranger to the sunrise. You know dedication to keeping a promise to yourself. You do what you dream about. You're going to Atlanta. What do you wear? Champion, outfit of the U.S. Olympic team.
How helpful are Ace Hardware dealers during helpful hardware days? Well, maybe not that helpful. But they will give you a little extra help at some extra big savings. You can't help but notice, Ace is a place with the helpful hardware folks.
Need a few parts? Pep Boys has everything you need.
Have a nice weekend.
26,000 items at the guaranteed low price, tires and service too. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
Wow, how'd they do that?
Pennzoil, Performax 100. 100% synthetic at a breakthrough price.
100% synthetic at a price this low? How'd they do that?
Leave it to Pennzoil to make synthetic affordable.
How'd they do that?
Hey, there's more. An extra $6 rebate on a case. Or $6 off on an oil change by the pros.
How'd they do that?
Pennzoil, a broadcast sponsor of NBC's coverage of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games.
How helpful are Ace Hardware dealers during helpful hardware days? Well, maybe not that helpful. But they will give you a little extra help at some extra big savings. You can't help but notice, Ace is a place with the helpful hardware folks.
Inside the NBA is brought to you by Foot Locker, the world's most complete athletic footwear store. Foot Locker, where it all begins.
And here's your Foot Locker play of the day. How about that Gary Payton, named NBA Defensive Player of the Year? Three-time defensive all-star. Here's a steal tonight against the Rockets and a basket and the foul. 2.85 steals a game along the way. Gary Payton, he's the glove. He's your Foot Locker play of the day. Well, what do you like at a playoff series? Talented big men, the Jazz and the Spurs, they got you covered. Great ball handling from the point guards. Well, you're good there. In fact, there's not a whole lot of mystery in this Utah and San Antonio semi that begins Tuesday night at the Alamo Dome. Darren Kagan listens to the Jazz Club now, a day after they suffocated Portland in Game 5.
It sure doesn't get much uglier than this, as the Portland Trail Blazers break the NBA record for fewest points ever scored in a playoff game. But hidden among the Trail Blazers' dismal 12-point quarters is the story of the Utah bench. In the past, Utah has never had much support beyond Karl Malone and John Stockton. But this 5-game series showed that the Jazz do indeed have depth, and they're going to need it as they go on to face the San Antonio Spurs.
The guys have come off the bench, given us big lifts, and carried us for long periods of time, even if Karl Malone's on the bench. And we really need that. We're not an overpowering team. We need a lot of guys contributing and coming in and playing the way we know we can. You get guys that haven't played all year, and now all of a sudden they're thrown in there and they're making a statement. And that's how you get new contracts. When the bottom line is there, you get new contracts by coming out ready to play. And these guys have been ready to play. So I really, really respect the way our bench is playing right now. Like I've always said, people are going to pat you on the back. We won this series, but you go down and lose a game or two and they kick you in the butt. So we got to go out and continue to execute as a team. If we do that, we'll be just fine. But it's going to be a tough series.
They're very difficult to play. They're well coached, and they got some tough things to try to deal with. Number one, David Robinson, and of course Shawn Elliott. Since they brought him over there, we haven't had much success with him at all. And they've got a lot of guys who can shoot the ball out on the perimeter, and that's one of our biggest weaknesses. I hope our guys realize the opportunity is there to play, and we'll just see what happens.
All right, here's some numbers to think about as we head to the series. Spurs won the season series 3-1. The free throw attempts for the Spurs way up. Elliott's 24-7 average, his best against Western Conference foes. Meanwhile, Karl Malone's 19-8, his worst against the West. And pocket this, Avery Johnson averaged 8 assists to 4 turnovers. That's 2-to-1 ratio, and that's twice as poor as his normal 4-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. And Avery Johnson, Rick, called him a pretty simple team, the Utah Jazz. It's simple, but it's precise, and it's very effective, their style.
Well, pick and roll is the best play in basketball. I mean, out of all your options, if you go to the pick and roll and you have proper spacing on the weak side, you can't stop it. I mean, you got good shooters, and basically they have good shooters that work from the inside out.
All right, now Utah will have its center, Felton Spencer, had the Achilles problem last year. Can he just, body up on David Robinson and just get physical with him?
That's important. If he doesn't body up with him, I mean, plus you got Oyster Tag, you got a bench Antoine Carr. I mean, you have all these people that can come in there and body against David, but then you have David who's playing phenomenal in this whole series, and I mean, not the series, but the start of the last series, he's playing great.
That Spurs team that really wants to prove something to everybody. All right, time to take that little golf cart to Promoville. It's a dog-leg left. It'll start Tuesday night on TNT. It is the Jazz and the Spurs, and they'll start at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, followed by the Knicks and the Bulls in their game, too, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and Inside the NBA will follow. Then on Wednesday night, on TNT, the Hawks and Orlando get it started at the Arena, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and Inside the NBA, as always, will follow that broadcast. That's going to do it for now. Rick Mahorn and I will be together the next couple of nights. So thanks, Rick, for sitting in tonight, and I'll make sure I bring that bow in tomorrow.
I'll make sure I bring you that wig that I want you to wear.
Easy now. See, this is going to be fun. All right, we'll see you tomorrow night, everybody. So long.